Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone's trial is slated to happen in July of this year. And I think she's having a pretrial actually on July 11th. Her real trial is supposed to be happening, I think, July 24th. Although all the stuff that's coming out right now with her writing all these letters to the judge, she's claiming that she hasn't met with her lawyer. The lawyer is not being as on top as she think he should be. Maybe there will be another continuance. I don't really know if the trial is really going to happen in July. I don't know. I'm starting to have some doubts, thinking maybe the trial will be pushed back again. As you guys may or may not know, Sarah Boone is someone that's really hard to forget. But you guys may also know her as the suitcase murderer. Sarah Boone is currently on trial for the murder of her boyfriend Jorge Torres Jr. And there is a video that police ended up finding later on from her cell phone where it has her boyfriend in a suitcase, zipped up suitcase, and he's pleading to get out. And she's like, it sounds like she's kind of drunk. She's mocking him. And that video surfaced the internet, and a lot of people saw it and were like, wow, this is disgusting. Hey, everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you had a good weekend. Hi, Holly. Hi, Vax. How's it going? But I wanted to cover Sarah Boone and all the letters that she's written to the judge, her attorney. I think only one attorney has been receiving this correspondence. So you guys may have heard that Sarah Boone did have about, I think she's on her 6th or 7th lawyer now. I'm going to cover that as well, why she had so many lawyers. I think she's really currently on the 7th lawyer. Hello, I'm doing good. We're just chilling over here. We're talking about Sarah Boone today. And Sarah Boone is a personality that is definitely someone that you don't forget. You don't forget that personality. And I don't mean that in like a nice way. I mean that like in like a way. Hi, Melissa. How are you doing today? Yeah, a couple weeks ago, we covered Sarah Boone. We were watching a JCS video about Sarah Boone, and Sarah Boone has there's a body cam, police body cam footage that's up on the internet right now. There's also her interrogation that's up on the internet as well. And we watched the JCS condensed version of it. I actually have not seen the full interrogation. I've watched the JCS version, and that was already pretty freaking bad. She's so toxic. Yeah, she's a very interesting character indeed. But I want to talk about the letters that she's been writing to the judges and the lawyer. And well, I want to start off with the most recent letter. And then from then on, we'll backtrack a little bit to all the other letters that she's written before and why she's writing these letters. Now, I honestly, it kind of does suck to be, sitting in jail, prison or whatever. And, you don't know what's going on with your case, right? You don't have communication with your lawyer, as so that you claim. You're writing these letters to the judges. No one's responding to you. It could be really frustrating. Like, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, do we really want to take her word for it? I don't know. I'm kind of like in the, let's see what else comes out of this, because, we have her receipts, but, we don't have the lawyer's receipts, right? Maybe the lawyer has met up with her and she's claiming that he hasn't, or maybe she's just being really exaggerative. I don't know. At this point in time, I just want to read the letters and then we'll take it from there. And then we'll go back and read all the other ones. Hi, Taxi. How are you doing today? Did you guys have a good weekend? Hello. I was going to stream yesterday, but then I decided to do some gaming yesterday instead. But yeah, we're back today. Honestly, I was going to do like a Sarah Boone update. I was going to do a Lori Vallow update, and I was going to do a Murdoch update all in one stream. But then I was looking into the Sarah Boone stuff, and I was like, oh, this is like a lot of information that I should probably cover. I don't know. I think we might split it up though. I meant to only look up Sarah Boone stuff for like 20 minutes yesterday. Ended up taking about like 2 to 3 hours because I was going through all the other stuff that she had that was like up available on the internet. But yeah, let's start off with the letter stuff. But I hope you guys are doing well. We're starting off with Sarah Boone. Okay, so let's start with her most recent letter that she wrote on, it was about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, May 15, 2023, to Judge Wayne Wooten. So that's the judge that's overseeing her case right now. Attorney Frank J. Bankowitz. Again, he is about, I think, the 6th or 7th lawyer that is working in her case. And she's also addressing it to the whole wide world. All of us here. Wow, thanks for thinking of Sarah. So here we have, I already read this letter. I think all the other letters that I saw from her, I kind of just skimmed through them. But this one I did read, and dude, it is so interesting, very condescending, and you do get a taste of, just a little taste of like narcissism in there, But she's going to define us the word perspective. Perspective, Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Why, thank you. I wonder how many people are going to actually look up the definition to see if it's the same. I also wonder how many website hits the word perspective will get. Definition. 1. The science of painting or drawing so that the objects represented have apparent depth and distance. 2. The aspect in which a subject or its parts are mentally viewed. a view of things as object events in their true relationship or relative importance. Please review so everyone has a clearer, better understanding of my continued concern, hindrances, confusions, and questions and confusions with the justice in quotations mark system and the solid, absolute remissness of my case and the due process of I am and I have been waiting. Wait, hold on a second. I'm reading that into one sentence. Okay. Also, remissness. Is that a word? I know remiss is the word, but like the remissness, the absolute remiss of my case. I don't know if remiss is the word. Is it a word? Maybe it is. I'm maintaining what I can since no one else has, or well, it seems. And I feel like at this point, oh, fuck, am I jumping around too much? Okay. Absolute remissness of my case and the due process of, okay. I am and have been waiting very patiently. Okay, we'll see about that, Sarah. And maintaining what I can since no one else has, or well, it seems. And I feel like at this point, 6 attorneys later, this is all underlined, by the way. 6 attorneys later, 39 months that she's been sitting in jail, almost 3.5 years, which I will make and not by choice. I need to make all aware of my immense struggle with this extreme mismanagement of my case to date. Let's look at a bigger picture or perspective. It's remiss, not remisses. She wrote remissness. And I was like, I don't think I ever heard of remissness before. You're on vacation. You went around 3,000 square foot of nettles of weed whacker in an ancient quarry with a friend of mine that owns it. Oh, well, that sounds fun. I hope you didn't get bit by any bugs or anything like that. Okay, let's look at the bigger picture or perspective, underline, to get a better view of what I've had more enough time to see and realize. I'm hoping by doing so, eyes can finally be open and very overdue. Long for progress and finalization and capitalization can be had. The growing amass of ignorance, manipulation, slander, and advantageous gain must stop. My truth needs to be heard, and it is my right. Again, she's writing this letter to the judge. I wish we could see the judge's reaction while he's reading this at his at his desk. Do not give me rights, expecting me to not fully utilize them. I voted for the president and the governor while here in jail. Well, good for you, Sarah. And stop violating what I've been trying to utilize or lessen the value of my capabilities and opportunities. I am not apologetic in any way for being an observant, hardworking, above average, non-stereotypical inmate. I can only imagine, sadly, how others, not as outspoken as myself, have been and are being mistreated. You know, Sarah, what I do wonder is how many other inmates in there with you committed murder, or if they're there for other offenses. I can only imagine, Sally, how others, not as outspoken as myself, have been and are being mistreated, overlooked, and dehumanized. Get it together. Now she's addressing the judge right now. Judge Wayne C. Wooten. 1. This is all underlined. At what point do you evaluate and intercede in a case to make sure there is proper advancement, regular communication between the attorney and client, ethical treatment of client is being upheld, timeframes are being met, etc.? Clearly, you know of and have known of the prolongation of my difficulties from your comments regarding my letters, but with no intervention from you to change anything for a better, less problematic process. Again, this is her perspective, and we're only hearing from one side at the moment, okay? You told me in the past that when I tried to voice my legitimate concerns to you in the courtroom, 5 times total in 3.3 years, and in my letters to save it for the next attorney, if told anything at all. Do tell, Your Honor, which attorney? Bullet points here. I'm on my 6th, whom I've not seen in person for over another 3-month period. Now she writes to be clear, 12 weeks, 89 days. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for emphasizing this. And counting, ... Another bullet point. Frank J. Bankowitz has been appointed as my attorney by the court to represent, in quotations, me in my case, and has been for 10 months and counting. Total approximate hours of representation, 7,200. Total times attorney met with client, Sarah Boone, 6. Phone numbers given to client by attorney, 2. Phone calls answered from client by attorney, 0. Yeesh. Outside sources calling attorney on behalf of client, 3. So she's getting other people to reach out to the attorney, maybe like her ex-husband or something. Does she have siblings? family members? I don't know. I feel like we haven't really heard much about her family members. Hi, Jeannie. Hello. Hello, Madam August Butterfly. How are you doing today? Taxi says, why are all these psycho killers keep writing complaint letters for her scenario? Alleged psycho alleged killer. Writing complaints from prison. I want properly kosher food. Da, 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 da. Yeah, Letitia. Phone calls, emails, voicemails answered by attorney, 0. Letter client sent to attorney. I do wonder though if she's just being hyperbolic. Like, is it really 0 or are you just trying to make a point here? Like, I don't know. We're only taking it from her word, her perspective, right? And if any of you guys ever worked in customer service before, you know that when customers are trying to talk to the manager, when they give their side of the story, they fucking lie. Now, she might be lying, she might be truthful. We don't know yet. Phone calls, emails, voicemails answered by attorney, 0. Letters client sent to attorney trying to communicate, 7. Letters defendant and client sent to judge trying to communicate, animate attorney in unsuccessfulness, 5. I think we do have all 5 letters, I think. 15-minute video visits between attorney and client, 3. Attended court date scheduled, 2. It was an attempted withdrawal and some other on allowance to finally be included in my PTC, which was the same information carried over from all the others. Now what? Question mark. Hi, Callie. How are you doing today? How's it going? Thanks for catching the live. Hi, Morden. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Number 2, in underline, why are you allowing / enabling my constitutional rights to be continuously violated? History lesson for everyone. ... First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, Eighth Amendment, 14th Amendment. 3, why am I being judged for my legitimate letters in order to know the status of my case or attorney? And how much longer before something substantial occurs in the progress of 3.3 years later, other than the appropriate prejudgments being made due to the excessive amount of my case information online, bigger and meaner. I don't really understand what she means by here. Bigger and meaner. She sounds like a fucking kid. Bigger and meaner lies about my case sensitive details. Oh my God. In which I have not seen, that she does suck though. It kind of sounds like she's saying that she hasn't seen like a lot of the evidence. And even greater, mind-numbing, one-sided ignorance. If I didn't write my letters, would you or anyone be aware of my rightful concerns still ongoing? Is it a perpetual question mark over a defendant's head? The norm during a case due to inactivity, no communication, no help, intervention. Yeah, that kind of, if we're taking her word for it, it sounds pretty shitty. Or answers being given by anyone in the justice system. Honestly, what has been done about or with any of my letters other than being scanned, uploaded incorrectly? I made sure to correct. So, I mean, her letter was only scanned and uploaded once incorrectly. There's this one time where she wrote like a 3-pager, but the second page was on the back of the first one. So whoever scanned it didn't do double-side scanning. I mean, it only happened like once, but she's like, other than it being scanned incorrectly, I made sure to correct so everyone is up to speed on my case status. Unfortunately, it is all that I have to report at this time. Great. Number 4. Why are you allowing numerous case safety and protection elements to be breached, violated, and manipulated? I mean, where she's at right now, usually a lot of this stuff is public information unless there's something that's like really sensitive in there. I think like usually if it's like anything like involving like minors, like child abuse, stuff like that, that's going to be like confidential. The public won't have access to it. But like, yeah, all her stuff, like anything related to her case, it's all public. You don't even have to make a username, I don't think, to even access it. But her case and like a bunch of other people that's in there with her, all their shit is like public as well. You can look all their stuff up. But why are you allowing numerous case safety and protection elements to be breached, violated, manipulated? Why has a gag order never been implemented? I don't know. Why would they give her a gag order? My case has turned into an unnecessary witch hunt from the innumerable violation of my case details being leaked and racketeered illegally. Is it illegal? I'm not sure about that. It's giving DB. Oh yeah, maybe just a little bit, you know. I'm very interested to see her in court if we ever see that. If that ever happens. Okay, hold on. I gotta reread this. Witch hunt from the innumerable violations of my case details being leaked and racketeered illegally in exchange for website hits, viewer ratings, etc. In exchange for a $sign. Oh, that's a $3 rating on Yelp. What is your cut, Your Honor? I don't know why she would do this. Like, seriously, like, You're gonna accuse the judge that's overseeing your case. You're gonna accuse them of making money off of what, like the YouTube videos, the law and crime court TV hits, and like the news article, like all that stuff. Like, really, I doesn't seem very smart, Sarah. Like, I thought you said that you're an above average inmate at your prison that you're at, right? I'm pretty sure other inmates wouldn't write letters to the judge and accuse them of doing the shit. I don't think judges will like that. I don't know. What do you think, Sarah? So you choose who knows what, where, and how in your courtroom. When did court minutes become live? Are you the one who authorizes the upload to the internet? I mean, this is all like public information, so I don't know. Take the issue up with your state or something. It's all about how much rather than how did it happen. No matter the destruction cost in the meantime, and it is irreparable. It's not even about the suitcase anymore. No, it still is about the suitcase. The case is now a global event with the video receiving over 3 million. I think she's supposed to put a dash there. Maybe she means like 3 million to 13 million hits, depending on the website. In turn, making me realize that's over 3 million less unprejudiced, unbiased, non-discriminatory, fair jurors. I mean, Sarah, if I want to be a little pedantic, technically not, because it is all 3 million, let's say it was 3 million views, right? All of those 3 million viewers, they're not in your state. They're not in your county. And you said it's global. So global means what? Worldwide, right? So these are people from all over the world. You know, let's claim that it's global. I don't know if it's global though. Maybe it is like just outside of the US that this got hits too. I thought it was just within the US. I don't know. But maybe it's like all over the place too. I wouldn't be surprised because the video that was leaked out, or the video that was shown, the one on her cell phone, yeah, it was pretty fucking bad. I feel like people all over the world, if they knew about it, it's like, yeah, because it was disgusting. But yeah, it's not like she lost 3 million jurors, because all 3 million of those jurors do not live in her fucking state, do not live in her area. So no. There are people, like for me, like if I were to hit up some people, my family members, right? They don't follow true crime stuff. They don't know this shit. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, I definitely know who the suitcase murderer is. It's mostly like a group of us, we like watch true crime stuff. You know, we're going to hear about it, right? People who like follow like, you know, court stuff, random trial stuff. But there's going to be people out there that, you know, doesn't know shit about it because they don't care about true crime stuff. They don't care about the news. They don't care about any of that. But yeah, she's like, oh my God, I lost 3 million fair jurors. Like, okay, no, shut up. Fair jurors, I will have access on my case. How is that going to work? Now what? 5. Like, what a brain dead take. 5. Factoring, important, private details should not be made ready and available for the world to know about before I, the defendant, does correct. I mean, she did like, I'm kind of curious what important details. I'm assuming maybe she doesn't have like, maybe they've never shown her the suitcase video recording, maybe, that we've seen. But she's the one who recorded it. She lived through it. I don't know. This is wrong. This is wrong, unconstitutional, unfair, and not how justice is supposed to work for anyone. I'm tired of having motives attributed to me that are unreal, assumed, and inappropriate. This is not legal. Number 6. This is what a trial is for, correct? All in caps. 7. At this point, what can even be rightfully suppressed in my case? Once you ring the bell, it cannot be unrung. It's already been heard and seen. I don't even know where the bell is or who's ringing. Okay, let me stop laughing. Oh, God. Sarah Boone's not the clearest, sharpest tool in the shed, but she thinks she is, though. She thinks it's the brightest crayon, the sharpest tool. I rigged every tweet today. Listen, if her attorney is like cucking her and not meeting with her, ignoring everything and not giving her updates and stuff, yeah, that is pretty fucked. Again, we're taking her word for it, right? 9. When is the next status hearing you stated would happen before my pre-trial? 7-11. My attorney's 1-year mark. Am I included? 10. What else can I do to ensure the productivity, communication, incorruptibility, appropriation, and intellectualism of my case? It is my right to know so I can begin or continue for true progress of any kind to finally be succeeded. I feel like, I don't know, did she reread her letter? Maybe, you know what? Maybe like when you're in jail, you know, you got a limited amount of paper. You don't get pencils. You have to write in pen. So once you write it down, it's all and done. And you can't like, you know, maybe she didn't want to cross it out to make it look messy or anything like that. Because some of the shit that she's writing here is a little bit wonky. All right, so this is addressed to her attorney. Again, this is her sixth or seventh attorney, and then we're going to address why she has so many attorneys. Attorney Frank J. Bankowitz. Ooh, he gonna get it now. Hi, Chani. How are you doing today? Number one, where are you? Our last in person was February 15, 2023, so 3 months ago. Two, when is our next meeting? Remember, please, there are still time-sensitive matters pressing. FYI, in the 10 months of your representation, here are the 6 meeting dates. I like how she writes 6, and then she has to write 6. Like this guy's an idiot. Meeting dates that have occurred, so you can see my perspectively the massive time gaps in between while I have been sitting eagerly, waiting, wandering. 2022. So this is when... okay, so they met in July 14th. So he is a new lawyer. So again, Sarah Boone, the murder happened in 2020, I think in February 2020. She was arrested. She called it in. And then she had one attorney, or actually technically 2 attorneys, right? One attorney, and then like it went from public defender and she opted for the private defender instead. He stayed on the case for 2 years. Okay. He stayed on the case for 2 years. Something happened and irreconcilable differences. I don't know. Something fucking happened. Maybe Sarah got in his fucking nerves and he was like, you know what? I can't deal with this bitch anymore. I'm doing this pro bono. But, after that, we had a couple of attorneys, you know, come in and out, in and out, in and out. But finally, we landed on the final attorney who was appointed to Sarah Boone on July 4th, 2022. Or I think it was like beginning of July. So he must have met with her like shortly afterwards. So we have July 14th, August 2nd, okay, August 22. So, okay, 2 weeks. And then I guess she hasn't heard from them in September, October, November, December, okay. 2023, we have January 20th is when they met up again. February 3rd, they met. February 15th, they met. March, April, May, nothing. 3, why aren't you fixing either of your 2 phones you gave me? Oh, it's because he gave you the phone number and then he probably just ignoring it. I don't know, man. Maybe he has issues with his cell phone. I don't know. Maybe bad cell reception or something. But, you know, I feel like he knows that she's calling. He's just like, yeah, I'm good on that. Why aren't you fixing either of the 2 phone numbers you gave me upon your appointment back in July 11, 2022? Every time I ask you about it, it's a different excuse. Much progress can be had in very expeditious manner if completed. Why has it not almost a year later? Why do you keep telling me to call when you know they don't work? As said before, do you guys remember back in the day where apparently girls would give guys like what's it called again? It was like a hotline, rejection hotline number or something like that. I don't know. Maybe guys did it to girls too. But like when you give someone their number and then you're like, oh, cool. And then like you call it, it's like the rejection hotline number. Yeah, it's pretty mean. Why do you keep telling me to call when you know they don't work? As said before, public defenders answers our call and reply to mail. Why are you unable or unwilling? See the difference it will make. I don't know. Maybe he'll have more of a headache. 4, our agreement made from one of my letters I wrote earlier this year after not hearing from you in a solid 5, again written 5 months prior, was to connect every 2 weeks with or without any significant progress. Why have you not been upholding this agreement, even in a 15-minute video visit? Remember, a phone call is another option and not as difficult technologically. A working number is needed, just one. 5, what are your I actually have not read this much. I only read to the part where it's addressed to the judge, so I have not read any of this. Okay, 5. What are your anticipated dates of completion for anything already discussed and will eventually? When do you actually show up for an in-person scheduled meeting? There are 1,000 little fires needing to be put out. You're holding the fire hose. Please see from my perspective, underline, the botch eye-rolling experience I am going through still, and how I believe anyone would act or do in my slides. In my slides? Wait, what? What does that say? Slides? Doing the same. What would you do? Do not fault me in trying to make the best, most successful outcome possible for myself in every aspect in a convoluted predicament I am in and have been in the past 3.5 years or 3.3 years. I would rather be called a narcissist. Pain in the ass, arrogant, strange, or whatever else anyone wants to waste their time to think of. Oh, she knows. Okay, she's hearing. She's listening to us. Narcissist, pain in the ass, arrogant. I didn't call her strange though. No, I feel like strange and weird is like maybe strange. I don't know. Just don't call me a murderer, which I am not. No one knows me except for the ludicrous insanity that's been made up, mocked, edited, and spewed all over internet. It's not me. Here's the thing. Listen, all the stuff that us internet folks have seen so far are things that are from her side of the story, her perspective, right? We saw the body cam footage. Do we get Jorge's side of the story? No, we didn't because he was dead. We just had hers, right? We had the interrogation. She was giving her side of the story, talking to the cops. Did we hear Jorge's side of the story? No, because again, what happened? He's dead. We did not hear his side of the story. All we've been hearing is her side of the story, her side of the story, her side of the story, her side of the fucking story. And do we like her side of the fucking story? No, because it sounded really fucking odd. It sounded like she was lying and she was trying to get out of it. So I'm so glad that we have the interrogation videos. I'm so glad that we have the body cam footages. I think those do tell a lot. Now, does it tell the whole picture? No, because, they do have a history of like, I don't know, I think both of them were arrested at some point for abusing each other. And then I think Jorge was arrested like twice afterwards because they also got in an altercation as well and cops kept getting called. But they have a very tumultuous fucking relationship. However, even knowing, let's say we take the worst case scenario that like Jorge is extremely abusive. Like if we take that extreme scenario, right? Still, locking him up in a suitcase and he's begging to get out and she's sitting there laughing, whatever. And police notice that, hey, the suitcase looks like it's been flipped a couple of times. Like, that's still really disgusting. That's still really gross. Most people just be like, oh, reported the cops. Oh, cops won't do anything. I don't know. Then, like, it's tough, right? Get out of the relationship, move out, do something. I don't know. It's tough. But, like, to just resort to just fucking killing them and putting them in a suitcase so they suffer to death and then act like, oh, we're playing hide and go seek and I was drunk and I forgot about it. Like, yeah, it's pretty batshit insane for most people on the internet. We're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, I don't know. She might be the type of person who's gonna take the stand. If she does, I do look forward to it. Okay, so she says she's not a murderer. It's not her. Okay. I'm hoping and praying my highly anticipated day will come, whenever that will be. It's God's timing. I continue to wait, smiling. I could actually see her just sitting there smiling. We have one of her, I think there was like a mugshot that she had where she was smiling. Was it a mugshot when she was arrested for this? Might have been. She's like sitting there. She's like, I don't know. It's a little bit creepy. So yeah, I can totally picture her smiling. At least everyone will know I'm not sitting around eating bonbons, watching soap operas. Application is the product of the lesson. I think what she's doing is she's probably sitting there right now trying to get access to the internet, trying to read up everything she can about this case, trying to teach herself to be a lawyer. I don't know, man. I could totally see her doing that. I think it'd be hilarious if at some point, I wouldn't be surprised if she pitches, oh, hey, I want to represent myself. F all these lawyers. Give me my chance appropriately, correctly, and fairly in court. Unfortunately, my perspective of our justice system is incredibly dim and dull. I hope my overdue blinding light has shone brightly for all to see a glimpse of how it really works. And being a system, we all have to work together to function in unison. Please help see the difference I'm trying to be and make. Waiting and wondering, keeping it real. Now what? God, I don't know. Like, remember how Jorge was begging to get out? And he was like, Sarah. And she was like, yep, that's my name. Don't wear it out. Like, oh, dude, she's just like the cheesy type right here. Keeping it real. Oh, God. You hope she represents herself. Keeping it real. Now what? Sarah Boone. Oh, let me just write it one more time. Sarah Boone. Then we got Sarah Boone here. So this is her most recent letter that she wrote addressed to the judge and addressed to her. She said 6th attorney, so it might be 6th attorney. I thought it was like 6 or 7. But I do want to go back a little bit and let's look at the journey of all the other letters that she has written. Because I skimmed through some of them and I think like the first letter, it didn't sound as what's the word to describe it? Snarky, entitled, it sounded like, okay, reasonable. She wants to know her update. But I guess like, as each time has gone by, she's been getting, increasingly more frustrated. But again, I only skimmed over this. Let's read it. You guys ready? So true. Some of the psychos may actually learn from that because sociopaths frequently, literally only ever understand a problem once it affects them. Actually, I shouldn't even wear earbuds anyway. have anything. Oh, hi, Paul. How are you doing today? How's it going? Yeah, so just quick a little update. We just read Sarah Boone's most recent letter. She has her trial coming up in July. What did I say? To the July 24th, I think, of this year. She does have pretrial stuff happening on July 11th. Now, I don't know. It might get pushed back. This trial has been pushed back so many times because remember, she was arrested in 2020, right before the pandemic happened. So pandemic, a lot of cases got messed up. A lot of stuff got pushed. She's had to reschedule so many times, probably due to, maybe there's more that they discovered. Maybe they had to like extend things because she's got new lawyers. Maybe like witnesses, they need to get depositions in time and stuff like that. So there's always a lot of things that will kind of like delay a trial. However, I don't know if she's saying that she's barely met with her lawyer and we take her word for it. Okay, remember, we take her word for it. That's an asterisk. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. The trial's gonna be happening in like less than 2 months. Hi, Cecilia. How are you doing today? How's it going? You need some 420 and a whiskey now. Damn, she's completely nuts. Okay, so let's go back to her. Should we go to her first letter? So again, I just want to paint the timeline. So arrested 2020. She's had one or two lawyer for about 2 years, right? Seems like everything was going smoothly, things were happening. And then all of a sudden, lawyer number 2 was like, yeah, here's a motion to withdraw irreconcilable differences. And the judge approves it. And so other lawyers come in. And I think this is when her frustration really starts because she's like, wait a second, why are there so many lawyers withdrawing from my case? What's going on? And now I finally have this final lawyer. And it seems like we're not really communicating with each other. And she's getting frustrated. Hi, Bleep. How are you doing today? How's it going? All right, let's start with this is half a year ago. Oh, maybe more than half a year ago. Yeah. Oh God, can you guys believe it? It's like we're halfway through. It's gonna be 2024 soon, and then 2025 and 2030, and whoo, time just going by so fast. We're writing back to November 3rd, 2022. 4 weeks exactly since my last letter. Oh wait, do I have? I think I have that letter. Hold on, where'd it go? Oh, we do. Sorry, we're gonna rewind it back a little bit. Okay, this is the first letter. October 3rd, 2022. Again, she was appointed her final lawyer back in July of this 2022. So addressed to Frank, Orlando, Florida, Sarah Boone. Mr. Bankowitz, I am writing in regards to not hearing from you and becoming very concerned after receiving no response to any of my daily, she's been calling him every day, daily calls or from the letters I've sent. As of today, October 3rd, you have been my court-appointed attorney for almost 3 months. Again, she's going to be very specific here. 12 weeks, 84 days, and only spoken to me 3 times. On July 14, 2022, video introduction, 15 minutes. August 2nd, 2022, video update, 15 minutes. August 22nd, 2022, visit in person, 90 minutes. Okay. All right. I mean, so far it doesn't seem that bad, right? Okay. I've written 2 letters in the meantime. Also, my most recent I sent on September 12, 2022 with no response. I actually do want to know how often do lawyers meet with inmates for updates and all that stuff? How often do they meet with them? How often do they do video calls? How often do they do phone calls? I do wonder that. I am unaware of the difficulties you are having in communications with me. Video, phone, letter, in person, especially via phone, which to me is the simplest form of doing so, even if it's just for a brief update, which takes only minutes. I believe by you giving me your personal cell phone, you are going to answer. Oh, no. He gave you the burner phone. I would at least know all is well and have a better understanding of the status of some things, what to plan on, and what I may need to work on. With no communication, it makes my end more difficult, drawn out, and painful. Please figure out whatever necessary for my phone calls to be answered, which you will be reimbursed for when you submit your costs. Why, thank you. It feels that this rate of communication and meetings and you just coming on board, not having all of my discovery to go over still on top of everything else to be done. I don't know if she knows that though. How does she know that he doesn't have all of her discovery to go over? Like, what if he already went over all of that? Like, how does she know that he doesn't? Or is she talking about like to go over discovery with her? It seems like she's just talking about like what he's reviewed. Not having all of my discovery to go over still and on top of everything else to be done in depth. How much longer am I really going to be here added to the 32 months already? I don't know, Sarah. You might get life if you get a guilty sentence, especially if we communicate. However, you eventually do only 1 month a time, one time a month, sorry, if that. As for all of the month of September, I know nothing from not hearing from you. I understand you have other clients. Do you really? As I am also one, and you've been recuperating from your back. Oh, poor lawyer got back pain or something like that. But remember, please, how long I've been here. You are my sixth attorney, not by choice. And the magnitude of my case with not knowing what's going on, where you are, and how much harder it is for me. I want to get on with my life, Mr. Bankowitz, and not miss any more time necessary for my son. I've already missed 4 of his birthdays. Yeah, you might miss more, Sarah. And spent 3 of my own in here. Please understand. I wonder how old her kid is. Trying to think. For some reason, I feel like elementary school. Was it mentioned the body cam footage? I know the dad was there. Man, I hope the kid didn't witness any of like the fucking abuse that went on between the two of them. No, 2, I am patient. Do you guys remember when the body cam footage of like the police showing up and she's trying to do her thing? She's trying to, secure the scene and all that. And Sarah's over there like, oh my God, like, I need my cigarettes. Can I get my cigarettes? Can I get my cigarettes? I need something to drink. I need something to drink. Can I get my cigarettes? I don't know, Sarah. I am patient. Although we could be seeing her at her worst time because, she's stressed out. Her husband, or sorry, her boyfriend had died by her own hands. But I don't know if we really think Sarah is patient. Clearly, after all the time I've already invested and still smiling, she just wants to make it. She makes sure she wants everyone to know that she's smiling. Okay, we ain't stressing her out. All the time she's already invested and still smiling and willing to go above and beyond whatever I need to do properly and truthfully convey my very convoluted, misunderstood side of everything, which I boldly told you in our meeting last month. Again, guys, her side of the story was they decided to. 2 adults were putting puzzles together. They were drinking, and they decided to play hide and go seek. And he somehow zipped himself in a suitcase, left no gap. And she claims that she thought it was funny that there was a gap where she knew that he can get out of the suitcase if he wanted to. And she was like, you know what? I was drunk. I went upstairs. I went to sleep. I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I forgot that he's down there. Oh, and then she went to go check him and he was dead. That was her side of the story. However, cops were able to recover a video on her phone, and it was her pointing the camera at her boyfriend in the suitcase trap, laughing. And they're like, where do you see a gap where he could have gotten out? Why has his suitcase been flipped multiple times? It's on a different. Yeah, this is this is the same person. Okay, don't forget. Anyways, she's patient. She's smiling. Yeah, whatever. She wants her truth to be told. I'm so very grateful, Mr. Bankwitz, for all you're doing. I have done and will do. We're in this together, and I'm so blessed. You are my attorney. God has put us in each other's paths for a reason. Man, Mr. Bankowitz is like, ugh. And I can't wait to see what you and he will do. I'm praying the 6th time, the charm. Please respond. I wait your response. Okay, so decent letter. But again, we don't really know from his side of the story. So she's saying that okay, this is September or this is October now. They've only chatted 3 times. She's made some phone calls daily, which he's ignored. I do want to know why he doesn't just pick up the phone calls. I mean, phone calls are pretty quick though. Just pick up the phone call. Be like, hey, nothing's really going on, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But maybe she's lying or maybe, she's telling the truth. Next letter. So this is a letter this is about a month later. Okay. November 3rd, 2022. Now we have the judge in here. She's probably not getting anything from the lawyer. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to CC the judge on this, okay? I'm going to tell on you. Drinking one now, Wilson 420. He was 9 at the time at the murder. Okay, I think for some reason I knew that or remember that, but I don't remember where I heard it from. Was it from the body cam footage or something? They can suffer in a big garbage bin and also has wheels, so they can take her on the trip somewhere near the stairs where they would accidentally fall down because gravity. So much for his explosive temper. If he was so abusive, she knew she could get out. Why didn't she? He beat her after locking in the suitcase. I mean, sometimes it's just really tough to get out of relationships like that, right? It's, I don't know. It's not easy for people to just be like, oh, let's up and leave, right? You always see the good side of them. You always hope that, they'll do better. But then we also don't know if he really was truly as abusive as she claims, right? It could be mutual or it could be mostly her. And yeah, I don't know. I think in police reports, they both had bruises on them. But he was claiming self-defense and she was claiming that he was attacking and stuff like that. But we'll definitely go over that. I want to do a timeline, maybe in a different stream. Okay. So now we got the judge on there. Honorable Judge Wooten, forgive me in advance for having to utilize your invaluable time to ask the current progress of my case. But after not having any form of communication with my attorney appointed by you, now after 11 weeks and counting, after sending 4 letters to my attorney appointed by you with no response, and finally finding an outside resource to inform me of my uneventful, confusing filed documents online by my attorney appointed by you, I am still waiting with a perpetual question mark over my head. Okay, so far sounds all right. No letters, no video visits, no face-to-face visits, no answered phone calls from my attorney, or even a response from you, Your Honor, regarding one of my letters expressing my legitimate concern of what is going on in my case and where's my attorney. It has been over 4 months since being appointed another attorney, number 6, and not by my decision, influence, or choice, and almost 3 of the 4 months not hearing from said attorney. I don't know, maybe influence, because, a couple of those attorneys put in irreconcilable differences. And I wonder if some of those attorneys are just like, this bitch is just too crazy to deal with. Like, I don't know, we can't agree on anything, but we don't know, right? I'm not hearing from my said attorney. August 22nd, 2022, last correspondence. Why? What is the reason? Why haven't I received a letter? Even a 15-minute video update, anything. Even after my PTC on 10/25 is what truly confuses me and nonetheless upsets me, the fact that I was not in attendance so I could know what's going on in my case, especially considering I have not heard from my attorney in 11 weeks and should have been included. Why was not? This is my case. Was Mr. Bankowitz even there to represent me? I don't know. Anything. Still. The problem is that my constitutional rights are incorrectly being waived without my knowledge or permission. I've never signed anything nor verbalized the idea I wish to waive my appearance to any of these court dates. I want to be present for all dates going forward, please, regardless of significance. All are significant to me since my attorney fails to relay any information in any way. If he's not going to, then I must myself and for myself, as always, my entire life. What else can I do? Who else can I seek help from? I have you and God, Judge Wooten. If I do have an attorney, where is he? There's so much to do all over my case. Hopefully the right way this time off is a rocky start, where I wonder how much more extended my time will be on top of the almost soon to be 36 months, 3 years already. Is this how the justice, in quotation marks, system works? Am I being penalized for wanting to be fully involved in everything in my case and intelligent enough to know how my case is being handled is unjust? And from my point of view, disastrous, considering I'm still sitting here in Orange County Jail, counting the days and praying my 6th attorney contacts me. I and we can move forward. Finally, coming to end to this seemingly endless debacle. You would think, considering the circus show my entire case is being made out to be with all the hype, sensationalism, and the publicity, I received a letter all the way from across the pond, England, the other day. It would all be handled more professional, better. I learned something. I wonder what that letter from England was. Fan mail? Hate mail? It would be handled more professional, better. I learned something now every day about facts, events, outcomes in my case from all over the internet, from all the inmates and officers as well. I wonder if they might know where my attorney is. Bottom line, please understand, I don't want to be here any longer. I don't want to be hindered any longer in getting just to be starting in line again. I don't want to be suppressed in being heard. Finally, truthfully and correctly. Jesus, how long is this letter? So when Judge Wooten, when will I hear from my attorney? Or were you displeased with some sort of response other than a copy of my letters I keep saying, which I already have? In the meantime, it is my understanding the following documents have been filed in the case since the appointment of Frank Bankowitz, my attorney, MIA. July 11th, Bankowitz appointed. Okay, July 12th, pretrial order, pretrial set for 10/25, trial set for November 7th. August 29th, pretrial has been canceled. September 23rd, notice of unavailability from the state. 10/7, correspondence, my letter to Bankowitz. 10/12, correspondence to defendants, copy of my letter. 10/24, notice of appearance for what? Had 3 years ago, not guilty plea already filed. Waiver of appearance never signed or agreed to. Compensation for what? What's been done? 10/25, substituting conflict counsel. Who is my attorney? 10/25, pretrial stuff. And then, so pretrial's been rescheduled and then trial's been rescheduled right there. That's it. In almost 4 months, I've been a client of Mr. Bankowitz. This is my only progress. What's next? Where are my copies of everything filed? Ever. This is one way I can have some sort of idea what's happening. And please remember, I have no access to a computer nor any reliable outside resource to check on for me. Please mail copies. I'm trying to come up with any solution possible to keep me and the other party in my case informed and updated. This is also part of the court's responsibility. I would especially think, knowing I've not heard from my attorney in any way for 11 weeks, I want to be included. Okay, we're almost done. Woo. Hi, Mar. How are you doing today? How's it going? So much for his, I read that already. Hide and seek in a freezer. Just get out. Forget about letting her out. 7 attorneys that backed out from her due to irreconcilable differences. Not all of them were due to irreconcilable differences. Some of them was like conflict of interest, and then some of them were just like kind of unknown. But yeah, I definitely want to go over that as well. As always, I thank you for your time and understanding. Please help however you are able. I am not helpless. I am not ready to get this show on the road and to hear from someone other than myself asking the same question over and over and over. What's going on in my case? Or how many more pens will I exhaust asking? Grateful and patiently waiting. I await your response. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. All right, that's Sarah Boone right there. All right, so our next letter. Oh, geez. Yeah, more. Her handwriting, actually, I feel like does it get better and better? Maybe it's the pen that she's writing in. I feel like her handwriting just gets like better and better. Oh, this is the one that we just read, right? Okay. Yeah, we got this one. All right, next. We're jumping to, this is about a month and a half later. Or no, a month later. December 5th, 2022. Back to the judge. Summary of progress. Numbers only. It's all I have. 1. Since appointed by court, Frank J. Bankowitz, attorney number 6, July 11, 2022. 21 weeks, 147 days, and counting. I love how she's doing like 147 days. Since number 2, since last spoke to Frank J. Bankowitz, attorney number 6, August 12, 2022. 15 weeks, 105 days, and counting. Number 3, since pretrial conference, no response from attorney or court, October 25th, 2022. 6 weeks, 42 days, and counting. 4, since my last letter to the judge regarding MIA attorney in case, November 3rd, 2022. 4 weeks, 32 days, and counting. 5, total hours of time represented by Frank Bankowitz. Oh, Jesus. 3,528 and counting. Total hours of time spent with client Sarah Boone, 2 hours. Yeesh. Where's my attorney? Where are you, Judge Wooden? I understand the holiday mode everyone is in as we inmates sit and wait for it to pass. But before we come to the end of another year, almost 3 for me in OCCD, it would be respectable of the court to please advise the status and location of my attorney foremost and also provide any real progress of my case, which is difficult to do and further without an attorney. Nonetheless, after being appointed so many, I thought hopefully the level of dysfunction would be lessened. Unfortunately, to date, I am sadly mistaken and feel I have been severely misled. Even more unfortunate, it seems to be a lack of representation from any party of my case other than myself. Look at the numbers. In the meantime, and in preparation for the upcoming status hearing on 12/20 at 10:45 a.m., which I just received notice for, thank you for the inclusion. I'm in the process of writing to our governor regarding the mismanagement of my case and the multiple added obstacles and deterrents I am experiencing, trying to avoid any further time-consuming hindrance or setbacks going forward. Oh man, I need to... She can ask DB to represent her. Oh, dude. DB can represent. Letitia will be the one that provides the lie detector. Okay, she'll get the polygraph. Hi, Kate. How are you doing today? Hi, Fire Drake. How's it going? Some of the major legitimate concerns of mine are the violations of my constitutional rights, the degree of neglect and nonchalant approach by everyone in my case to substantially progress, and the illegal, non-permissive release and distribution by Orange County Sheriff's Department of crucial confidential case files, videos, photographs, documents, etc., pertinent to my case, which I have not even seen or even know about. Everyone knows more than I do about my case. As a result, it is impossible to choose a jury that will be impartial, fair, and uninfluenced by the mutated, exaggerated, hyped sensationalism. This is a significant reason I've requested a change of venue previously. At this point, it will make no difference. There's nowhere I am not known. Okay, she's just like, this is going to her fucking head way too fucking much. Okay, in the law and crime community, yeah, of course we know who Sarah Boone is, but like normal people who don't watch law and crime stuff, who don't watch trial stuff, like they don't know who the fuck Sarah Boone is, okay? Maybe like a couple of stragglers here and there. The premature, unfair judgment by everyone has wrongfully and inappropriately already been made. I haven't been seeing my discovery or know where my attorney is, my 6th attorney. Not only am I, the other party in my case, still in the dark with everything, I am blind in the dark. This is wrong, unfair, especially for a still proud citizen of the United States of America, and unacceptable. There is more to everything, much more, and in which I have been patient to extreme to explain, interpret, and educate what now seems to be the whole world. I am forever hopeful the governor will be able to untangle the chaos and mistreatment. I wonder if the governor wrote back to her. No one else seems to be available or willing to abide the protocol of our justice system, rightfully, and eagerly apply themselves. I'm hoping these aforementioned topics can still be further discussed at the hearing on the 20th, and which I am bringing to everyone's attention prior. I have not heard from my court-appointed attorney to date, so I'm unaware what else may have been on the docket. It's finally time to move forward in all the right ways. Happy holidays! Sarah. All right, this is addressed to her lawyer, Mr. Bankowitz. I am also sending a direct copy to you in case the court and or judge does not, therefore giving no reason of any unsurety of my ongoing concerns regarding having no communication from you in any manner for almost 4 months. I believe the court and or judge would have been sending copies to you all my letters to them, but since I have been unsuccessful in receiving a response or update by their side also, I'm taking upon myself to make sure everyone is aware I'm still sitting here waiting for you. Please respond. I look forward to seeing you at the hearing, if not before then, with very much overdue anticipated progress. Thank you, Sarah Boone. I do wonder, where is her lawyer? What is up with him? Something going on with him? So what you guys don't know, December 5th, 2022, okay? I think about like 3 weeks after this letter, 3 weeks after this letter, this happens. December 19th, so about 5-6 days before Christmas. Motion to withdraw as counsel comes now. Frank J. Bankowitz, counsel for the defendant in the above styled cause. Number 1. On or about July 11, 2022, the undersigned was court appointed to represent the defendant in the above styled causes. 2. Due to irreconcilable differences which have arisen between the undersigned and his client and his family, the undersigned will be unable to effectively and properly continue representing the defendant hereon. Yeah. Unfortunately, Frank, you know, he was hoping that he'd be 6th lawyer and she'd have like a 7th one. Unfortunately, the judge denied this motion. The judge denied this motion, and yeah, Frank, you have to be her lawyer. Suck it up. Good luck. I feel for you. Yep. I don't know. That sucks. So yeah, I think Frank was hoping like, please, judge, please. And the judge is like, nah, your motion has been denied. So yeah, he's their lawyer now. So kind of interesting. I do wonder though, like what is going on with the lawyer and Sarah Boone. All right. So after the motion was dismissed, it seems like things started to move on, you know, along as usual. Sarah sounds pretty chipper and happy. January 10th, 2023. All right. Letter to Frank Bankowitz. Mr. Bankowitz, hello and Happy New Year. I hope the holidays were lovely and very memorable for you and your family. I just wanted to check in as I have not heard from you since the status hearing back on, hold on a second. January 10th, and she has not heard back. So they had a status hearing on December 27th. I guess things were kosher between the two of them. And now she's like, I haven't heard back from you. What's going on? And want to confirm you are still my attorney after your motion to withdraw was filed on December 19, 2022. I wonder if when they heard from each other on December 27th, I wonder if she knew that maybe like 10 days before that, he put in a motion to withdraw. I wonder if she knew at the time or if she found out after the fact. It is my understanding you are, which is why I'm writing to you directly, but also including Judge Wooden for fear I did not receive a response like the almost last 5 months, 21 weeks, 147 days. You don't have to write this. Like, this is so unnecessary, but whatever. It is very important to me you are aware of my questions and concerns for the anticipated pre-trial conference on January 17, 2023. If you're unable to speak to me, oh, that's why she wants to talk to him. Okay. If you're unable to speak to me beforehand, which I'm very much hoping you will be. Unfortunately, I am unsure what else to inquire about as I'm unaware of any of the progress going on in my case. In the meantime, please see below and thank you in advance for the information and clarification. All right. Number 1, pre-trial conference, Tuesday, January 17, 2023. I would like to be in attendance. What time, please? I have not received a notice via mail or heard from you to ask, and no time was stated during the status hearing. Please make the necessary arrangements for me to be included. It is my right. Number 2, Waiver of appearance. Please mail or bring the appropriate documents to unwaive my appearance going forward to everything I am able to be included on so I'm kept updated with any of my status of my case. Dude, she is so demanding. Do this, do that for me, do this. I am unable to be included on so I can get blah, blah, blah. It is my right. Please note, I have not signed any paperwork for you since the start of my representation, July 11, 2022, as my attorney. So I'm unclear how my right to appear was waived in the first place, nor have I verbally given permission for the waiver either. Oh, I wonder if I can find that actually. Let's see. Can I find it? Waive. Let's see. Written plea of not guilty, waiver of arraignment. Not guilty, waiver of arraignment, waiver of speedy trial, waiver of arraignment. I don't know if it's in here. I don't know. I don't think I see it. Maybe I have to open the documents. Okay. I don't see like a waiver like to appear. Oh, maybe I'll just do appear. Appear. Reset with judicial assisted, mandatory appearance by defense attorney. It seems like the judge has been trying to get this attorney to meet with his client. Is that what this means right here? Comments. Reset with judicial assisted, mandatory appearances by defense attorney, sorry. Notice of appearance. Let's see. First appearance information sheet. I think this is something else. Okay, let's go back to it. I watched the lawyer, he said she really might have a claim for in assistance of counsel, if I'm saying that right. In assistant. You mean ineffective? Ineffective counsel? He said the lawyer not communicating with her outright. He had about like 350 minutes with him in like 6 to 8 months, I think he said. Yeah, I mean, this is like from her perspective, right? We're relying on her perspective, her letter. She could be wrong. But hi, Dave. How are you doing today? How's it going? All right. What else has she said? Waiver of appearance. Please bring me this, bring me that. She has not cited any paperwork for you since the start of representation. 7/11/2022 as my attorney. So I'm unclear how my right to appear is waived in the first place, nor have I verbally given permission for the waiver either. Please provide the signed copy at your earliest convenience. Number 3. Reason for withdrawal. I was not made known by you as my attorney or stated by the judge to the court during the status hearing. Oh, so she didn't know. She found out completely afterwards. I was completely blindsided and still massively confused for the attempt as our attorney-client relationship hasn't been established from the 2 hours we have spoken out of the now 4,536 hours. And the general information it was when we actually did. If you had genuine, legitimate concerns, I thought from a professional, moralistic standpoint, you would have discussed it with me or at least mentioned rather than being uncommunicated for almost 6 months, an entire half of another year, for me just sitting here with nothing to show but the perpetual question mark still over my head. I would have hoped that if you were unable to maintain your workload, which so presently includes me as your client, you would not have made the decision to take on my case and even give me the selling points on all of your capabilities and resources. Why? Please help me understand. We're supposed to be working together and for each other rather than against. It worries me futuristically. Also, I have not to date received a copy of your withdrawal. Judge Wooden said I was included on when reading the certificate of service during the hearing. Please provide me a copy. Maybe this lawyer just really sucks. Number 4, phone account. It was previously told to me by you in our one in-person meeting that you already had this set up and were having your assistant look into so we could use. After not answering any of my calls, the few I did make an attempt to touch base with you to provide request information you asked me for, I stopped calling you, Mr. Bankowitz, and have not to date since September 2022. I kept hoping you would call me or set up a visit, even for 15 minutes, which has not even happened. Please help me understand why you gave me your personal cell phone number. Also, to clarify for you, the judge, etc., I did not avidly search for the statements regarding for your public reprimands in 2015 and 2018. What? In an attempt to speak with you from no response to my letters or calls, sales or office, when have someone look up my contact alternative and to confirm your address from a letter I sent that was returned, then resent, the reprimands were discovered and for the same complaint as mine. Lack of communication. Oh, interesting. During the status hearing, when I made this known, I was not in the clear in the end if you were going to actually set up again the phone account to be used, which any and all of the callers, inmates must have established in order to speak to family, friends, attorneys, anyone. It is nothing new or extra, and all the costs incurred can be submitted for payment to the court as you have done in the past already. This is not how attorneys communicate with their clients here in OCCD. Another option, in addition to 45 minutes video visits, 15-minute at-home visits, in-person visits, and of course, a postal service. It would definitely make sense to use avoidance of even more time being exhausted in the length between any visits in the future, which will already help to progress everything. Will you be utilizing? Poor George had to listen to this woman every day. Oh, I mean, Jorge. Number 5, discovery case materials. In the status hearing, you stated you have 2 boxes of information that are out of order and unorganized. Have you organized and reviewed? How long have they been in your possession? When will we be going over? It is extremely concerning. This is all you have. It has been said there were 3, 5, 6, a ton from some of the attorney prior in my case. Which is it? What is there? 3 years later, I'm still wondering. I've also put in numerous hours, pages, pen ink of my information, which I'm praying is in either in the boxes you currently have. Please let me know as the cited, what does that say, guys? Amount of even more time to locate, receive, review. Anything missing from everything received before then withdrawing will most definitely be extreme. I don't know what you have. I also could exist in organizing what you have, considering it's all part of my case. I'm eagerly waiting and have more than willing to help with this and everything else. I just need to see what's going on, which I have yet to 3 years later. Number 6, prosecutor. Is there a new one in my case? I noticed his attendance during the 3 status hearing attempts and came to the conclusion there is. Since you've not communicated with me this or any information, nor any announcement made by the court, I don't know. If so, what is his name? What is his background? Mr. Bankowitz, you must understand how insignificant I have been made to feel with this never-ending debacles, hurdles, stumbling blocks I have and going through and still facing since becoming incarcerated. No one seems to listen, ever. I refuse, absolutely refuse to believe this. My entire experience to date really is how our justice system operates. I refuse because, as said to you, Judge Wooden, the court, to everyone else in the status hearing, and to everyone who truly cares, my reason is hope. Never ending, no matter what. Hope. This is being the entire reason I'm here for my incarceration. Nothing's impossible with God, and I await my day to say my truth and side of everything. Please don't give up. I have not and will not ever. I await your response. Always, Mr. Bankowitz. Thank you. Okay, that was from, what was that from? January, right? Okay, January. This is from 2.5 months later. I'm assuming she's probably not happy. Okay, let's see what's going on. Mr. Bankowitz, this is my 3rd letter trying to reach you over almost another 6 months, 6-week period now. The same 2 phone numbers you've given me still do not work. The one number, your personal cell, goes to voicemail directly and doesn't even ring. I've had this number since you personally gave me back in July 2022 upon your appointment. Give her a walkie-talkie, talk to her attorney. Sarah Boone's entire life sucked because she was the only surrounded by idiots to get fucking up. But then Sarah woke up, wrote an immensely impactful letter, and everything changed. Is this the part where we all clap for her? Give her like the slow clap. The one number, your personal cell, goes to voicemail directly and doesn't even ring. I've had this number since you personally gave it back to me in July 2022 upon your appointment as my attorney by the court. Not working still 8 months later. Yikes! What is going on? The other number rings and rings and rings until it automatically disconnects me. Not working either. This also is the number you continually tell me just needs to be activated. Wait, what? Please activate. I even, in my desperation to speak with you, had an outside caller try to reach you on my behalf who tried calling your office 3 times over the last almost 3 weeks, leaving a voicemail each time with no reply. We're both hoping you're able to reply to her email she sent today as another form of trying to communicate with you. I've exhausted my resources. Oh, I wonder who's this friend that's trying to help her. I've exhausted my resources, and again, just sitting here waiting for you to contact me in whatever way you are able, and as soon as possible, please. Time-sensitive matters are at hand, as I have made you aware of previously, verbally, and in my letters. I know you've attempted to schedule the minimum 15-minute my pre-trial conference. I found out is now March 31st, which you said previously for whatever the reason I am unable to attend. any of these conferences. How am I supposed to know what's going on and what you are reporting and what is being discussed between all of the parties except me? The main component of my case, especially if we are still in a still unestablished attorney-client relationship, are not in regular and proper communication with one another. Why can I not be in attendance at a participation in my pre-trial court? How else am I supposed to be kept updated in real time and actual minutes during the conference if not there myself? I have no way of knowing anything if not updated by you, my attorney, and do not have a computer to use or view myself. Help me understand, please. How can court TV, different news channels, and even professional YouTubers attend my pre-trial? Do we? I don't think we watched it though. Pre-trial court stuff, and I cannot. I want to look it up now. Is it up? How I'm? Let me see. Hold on a second. I'm kind of curious. Does court TV have it? Sarah Boone pre-trial conference, right? This is the one with her in it. This is her. Let's see. Was there one? Was it recorded? Maybe I have to do some more digging, but she's in this one. Actually, hold on. I'm actually kind of curious. Can we watch this? She's sitting right there. What date is this from? This is from March 31st. Let's see. March 31st. When was this letter written? March 31st. Okay, so this is like a week after. Okay, let me read this letter. We'll watch the video. We'll see Sarah's face, okay? Also, Sarah got a new haircut. She looks the same, though. Oh, did you guys hear about Cousin Eddie? Apparently, Cousin Eddie gained like 30, 40 pounds while being in jail. And people were like, how do you gain weight in prison? Well, I was thinking maybe Cousin Eddie did a lot of drugs or something when he was not in prison. And now that he's in prison, he doesn't have access to drugs. And he's like, you know what? I guess I should eat. I don't know. But I thought that was kind of interesting. What's up with the lawyer? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, do we want to take her word for it 100%? Maybe it's like 50 true, 50 false. But like, yeah, I don't know. It sounds pretty fucking bad. If you want to believe Sarah, yeah. All right, let's finish this and then we'll watch Sarah Boone stuff. Okay. Okay. Help me understand. Actually, I'm gonna open the door. It's fucking hot in here. So funny, my little corgi got his little tongue stuck. You guys ever have like dogs where they leave when they're sleeping, their tongue gets stuck? It's so funny. There's like, they're so cute. The lawyer she has now is like her 7th or 8th. He has found a promising way of getting along with her by ignoring her entirely. Dude, I don't know what's going on with this lawyer. I wish we could hear from his side of the story. Guess we'll see. Okay. I'm sure one of the other parties can help me with the updates since they will all be in attendance. For me also, should you be unable to provide, why can I not be included in my pre-trial conference for my case? I'm sure also everything from the conference collected from everyone else will be vomited all over the internet, just like everything else I've seen, non-permissively, and can be added even more dysfunction and ignorance to my prejudgment already made by the world in the great court of public opinion. I would like to be a part of the case, seeing this as it already pertains to me. Please, it is my right. So many questions, concerns, piling and piling for not being. Okay. Let's watch. Let's see. Is it this one? Yes. Let's watch this really quick. Did anyone watch this? This is the most up-to-date look of from Sarah Boone. Sarah. La, 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 la. Oh, hi, Sarah. And it'll be a good break from reading, too, because my throat's like... All right, let me just write this over here. How are you guys doing? How's it going? You guys have a good weekend? Let me catch up really quick. I have a hard time accepting any narrative Sarah puts forward, to be honest. I think the narrative that she's putting right now is like battered like wife. She's going with like the battered spouse defense. Which could be believable because they're going to go through all the previous arrests between her and Jorge. And he has been arrested, I think, like in total 3 times. She was arrested once previously as well. But yeah, I mean, she has a case there. but it's just the video. It's just really fucking bad. If she didn't have the video, let me think. If she didn't have the video, would it still be bad? Yeah, it's the video. The video really, really fucks her, man, because she's sitting there, she's laughing, she's like taunting him. You can hear him, he's pleading. Yeah, the video really fucks her up. You know what? The video was all her doing. But what made it even worse was her demeanor in the body cam and then her demeanor in the interrogation. She wasn't helping herself, okay? But, you know, she probably didn't think that the whole, the whole wide world, as she claims it, would globally be able to view that video. Okay, let me check the audio really quick.
Boone's case.
How's the audio?
Versus Sarah Boone, 2020 CF 2603.
Oh god, this audio is atrocious, guys. Oh my god. Why? Why? Make it louder. Let's do maybe 3.
Florida.
Also, the audio is like messed up. It's only playing on the right side. So if you have earbuds on, put the right side in.
All right, let's go ahead and call up Miss Boone's case.
State of Florida versus Sarah Boone, 2020 CF 2603. State of Florida.
Deputy Cacciatore on behalf of the state.
Defense.
Frank Bankowitz.
Oh, Frank is in there. Hey, Frank, let me see what you look like.
Let's go ahead and swear Miss Boone in.
May you please raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Morning, ma'am. Tell me your name and your date of birth.
Sarah Boone, October 10th, 1977.
All right, we're here for pretrial conference today. Mr. Cacciatore, where do you stand in preparing to proceed forward to trial?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Mr. Bankwitz, where do you stand in regards to preparing
I'm
for
sorry, the
trial?
defense is not ready. We're requesting a continuance. We are having difficult time finding an expert who is willing to work for the JAC rates. And so I'm still, it's essential.
I wonder what expert they're looking for. I saw that they hired a let's see. They have some extras so far. They have like a domestic violence psychologist, they have a private investigator, forensic expert, electronics expert, and some other experts as well. So I wonder what expert they're trying to look for.
Part of the case, basically. It's never been initiated before by any of the prior attorneys that I'm aware of.
Hey.
In broad terms, what's the nature, what's the
Battered
field?
spouse defense.
Okay.
Statutorily, we have to give the state notice, sufficient time, and name of the expert and the essential elements that they'll be testifying to.
Mr. Cacciatore, what's your position in regard to the defense request for continuance?
I would have no objection to another role.
So, Mr. Bankwitz,
Hey, Brenda.
how deeply have you plumbed the depths of the pool of experts in this field to find out or find one who's willing to work for the JAC rate?
Well, I've actually talked to 3, and but they don't have contracts with JAC and are not willing to work with JAC.
This is the judge that's receiving her letters. Here's the lawyer that's receiving her letters.
And I've made some other inroads with battered woman shelters, trying to get their psychologists, who'd be willing. Problem is willing to testify, basically.
Okay. Because of the concern about the compensation rate for testimony?
Well, that's one of the things. And to be honest with you, this case has had so much notoriety that people don't want to be involved.
Okay.
Okay, fair point.
So, Mr. Bankwitz, I'm certainly willing to give you additional time based on my understanding of the case. I understand why that would be a defense the defense would want to explore about potentially presenting. What I'm not sure about is whether the inability to find an expert forever delays the trial of the case.
I wouldn't expect it to be a forever delay, Judge. And you know me better than that.
Mr. Cacciatore, well, I just want to make sure everyone in the room understood that, I'll give reasonable amounts of time to prepare a defense. The defendant's entitled to an adequate defense, but they're not necessarily entitled to the exact defense they would prefer to have if resources run limited. So, Mr. Cacciatore, remind me, where are we as far as lining up your various homicide cases for trial?
Hey,
I
Daniela.
know we have some things set to go to trial in the June trial period.
Yes, we have both Mr. Herlong and Mr. Sowell set for then. And then as far as this trial period, we have Mr. Hall and potentially Mr. Ofori as well. If I could ask of the defense, because I think it would make a difference in the timing of the continuance in this case, does the defense intend to hire an expert to testify generally as to the precepts and the things that go along with battered spouse syndrome, or do they intend to hire an expert that will evaluate Mrs. Boone and want to comment on her directly? And the reason I ask that is because I think the case law is clear that if it's the latter thing, then the state is entitled to have her sit down with our own expert to be evaluated as well. So that would obviously take more time if that is going to be the path they're going to go.
Mr. Bank?
So that's kind of similar with, remember with AH and Johnny Depp? AH was claiming that she suffered from, I forgot what it was, like emotional distress or something like that, and she wanted to hire her own psychologist. And then Johnny Depp seemed like, oh, well, if you're hiring someone, then, oh, wait, fuck, no, what was it again? AH wanted to claim some sort of like mental distress that she had, and then Johnny Depp seemed like, oh, then if you're claiming that, we're allowed to hire a psychiatrist to evaluate you, or psychologist. I always mix between the two of them. And then that's when they were able to get Dr. Don Hughes, right? Or did Dr. Don Hughes come first? Fuck, I don't remember. Okay, never mind. Just kidding. Retract.
Are you in a position to distinguish?
Number two is definitely what we're looking at, Judge. Although number one would be incorporated in that as far as their general ability and their expertise in the area.
Would you agree that if in fact you retain an expert and they're going to opine specifically on Ms. Boone's state of mind at the time of the incident, that opens the door for the state to also
most
have an
definitely.
expert? All right.
Most definitely.
That would be a very interesting testimony to listen to.
So here's what I am, and Mr. Cashel, let me ask you this. Let's say that turns out not to be an issue. We're not going to have two experts. How long would it otherwise take you to present your case? Just rough idea.
I would say 3 days.
Really? 3
And
days?
other than this potential defense, Mr. Bankowitz, and is that including jury selection, Mr. Cacciatore?
No, well, I probably 3.5 days with jury selection.
All right. And Mr. Bankowitz, other than this potential defense, if we picked a jury in 1 day, the state presented their case in 2.5 days, how long do you anticipate a defense presentation would be at this
I'd
point?
say at least 3 days.
Wow. Potentially short trial.
So here's what I'm thinking.
I think you're right about the expert hunt, because I was thinking, does this also apply? Did this also happen in the defamation trial? But I think it's slightly different, because I think in this case it's like, well, if you're going to get an expert to opine about Sarah's mental well-being, that means that the state can also get someone as well. And I was like, oh, did that also happen in the defamation trial? But no, I think the defamation trial was like Amber Heard was claiming that she suffered immensely from Johnny's abuse and that she had like some mental issues. And so she wanted an expert witness to talk about that. And then because she mentioned that, That opened the gate for, or that opened the door for Johnny Depp's team to be like, oh, well, you know, we can hire someone to evaluate you as well. And I think when they tried to evaluate Johnny Depp, they couldn't because Johnny Depp didn't say that he had any like mental issues from, you know, being in a relationship with Amber Heard. But yeah, I think that's different. I was thinking like maybe it was the same, but I was like, nah, I think it's different.
I'll grant the continuance. I'm thinking continuing out to the July 11th pretrial, July 24th trial period.
How long is that trial period, Judge? I have a time certain death penalty case in Lake County starting the second week in August.
That's a 3-week trial period, so it would be the week starting Monday, July 24th, Monday, July 31st, and then the last week of the trial period would be Monday, August 7th.
Okay, 3-week trial period. Okay.
That's when I'm scheduled to start picking a jury in Lake County.
Well, let's do this. I want to set it for that date. That way you'll have a much better idea of what's actually happening on your death penalty case in Lake County. I understand that they're priority cases, but I also know that they're the cases where if a problem comes up, no matter what a judge has said before, they're likely to allow the case to move because they don't want to try it twice.
Just to advise the court, this case had to be continued at the last minute because of one of the attorney's wives basically had a stroke. And so it was a week before we were scheduled to start in that case. But Judge Davis up there, now that has, I won't say resolved itself, but is in a better position. Judge Davis has advised all of us that we're going, quote, come hell or high water.
See, I try not to say things like that because I feel like I'm just tempting
Well,
fate.
that's just Lake County, Judge. What do you expect?
Well, having never worked there, it means nothing to me. So
What happens in Lake County? Who lives in Florida in here? What's up with Lake County?
I'll grant the change, July 11th pre-trial, July 24th trial period. And let's go ahead and do this. While I'm giving July 11th as the date, let's go ahead and have the lawyers reach out to my judicial assistant and just like we did this time, schedule
A status.
a status separate unique date for pretrial so that I have, y'all have my undivided attention when we talk about the case. I don't have 97 other lawyers tapping their fingers, waiting to get to me.
Sounds good, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Ms. Boone, we return to the Orange County Jail pending further order of the court. And Mr. Banquets, you can electronically file the motion to continue,
Yes, sir, we will.
and the court minutes will say it's granted. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day.
You too.
I wonder if she's already talked to the judge. Don't hear anything from her. Oh, wait, I see her picture. You see her picture right there? I think, is that the one where she's smiling in it? She's got like 2 mugshots that's up right now. One where she's smiling, one she's kind of like doing this like death stare. All right, well, we didn't hear anything from her.
All right, let's go.
Let's go back to the docs really quick. We have a couple more letters to read from Miss Sarah Boone. This was written a week before the hearing that we just saw. Now, this is going to be like, what, 2 weeks after? 2 weeks after. To whom it may concern, the enclosed letter I sent on March 22nd, 2023 was scanned incorrectly. Oh, shit, was it? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so I read this one and... Okay, yeah, it was cut off. Oh, man, what did we miss then from the middle? This part right here, page number 2. Okay. I knew you've attempted to schedule the minimum 15-minute video calls twice within the last week. The first having technical difficulties and canceled. And then the second one was a no-show. Ooh. What it seems to be is every time on your end, whatever the disconnect is, I am extremely frustrated and worried not being able to communicate with you, even just sometimes, especially when there are very important, pressing discussions needing to be had already, but have not from no means of successful communication. Mr. Bankowitz, why do you have phone numbers? Why do you have two phone numbers that still do not work that you've given me over 8 months ago? And you keep telling me to call. Neither work and have yet to be answered. Why are you not responding to any of my letters? 3 so far this year. Why are you unable to correctly set up a video call if you're even on the call? Please know, even though I'm temporarily an inmate and incarcerated, I do have a schedule with classes, dorm trustee duties, and medical appointments, which I have been excused from for nothing. Please fix the connection. Problem. Remember to, please. I am just sitting back in the starting line barely with you as my attorney, and I have yet been able to even speak to you on the phone. I am genuinely concerned with your numerous promises you have made and even suggest yourself that will and can be done, but they do not yet. I need your help and have graciously offered to, but when? Please. Okay, that's the part that we missed. This is her realizing that, oh, snap. The letter didn't scan properly. So let me write another letter. So this letter is written, oh no, sorry. It was scanned on 4/14, but it was actually written maybe like 3 days after the hearing that we just saw. Okay. Scanned correctly. She's resending it to avoid any confusions, blah, blah, blah. I also received a copy of my copied letter today with only 2 pages included, or my letter is even being read. I wrote 4, but only 2 were copied, uploaded, and mailed. Clerical error. An update while already contacting you. Mr. Bankwitz has not met with me personally face-to-face ongoing now for 2 months, 8 more weeks. The phone number is given. Wait, but didn't they talk at the trial that happened a couple days ago? Does that count? He has not met with you personally face-to-face ongoing now for 2 months, 8 more weeks. The 2 phone numbers given still do not work or his office phone. Unanswered when someone trying on the outside. Judge Wooden, can you please have Mr. Bankwitz fix the phone problem? He asked me for information, some critical and time sensitive, which I complete expeditiously for him, but then have no way to relay successfully, in turn hindering progress and creating even more discussion, a 15-minute video visit when he actually does schedule and it does work. Even PDs answer their phone calls. Police departments? I've yet been able to speak to my court-appointed attorney on 2 phone numbers for 9 months. Wait, but you just saw each other at the hearing. Did y'all not talk at the hearing? I don't know if I'm able to believe her 100%. See, I don't know. Do we take Sarah's side of the story 100%? July 11, 2023 is my 1-year mark, another milestone while I'm here with Mr. Bankowitz, my attorney. It is also my next pre-trial conference. Will I be able to attend and be included as I was previously at the last time? Thank you. Please also include me in the status hearing you mentioned to the court during the last conference, which was supposed to be happening sometime prior to the next pre-trial conference in July. I am still waiting patiently and respectfully. 6,480 hours later, with Mr. Bankwitz, my attorney, waiting for him to contact me and hoping just one of his phone calls will finally work so we can pick up speed to provide significant progress of my upcoming meeting. Thank you for reading my entire letter and uploading it correctly for all the world to read also, critique, and judge wrongly and incorrectly as usual. Ignorance is bliss. I wonder what platform of popularity I will be featured on next and how much wasted time, effort, and thought will be put into mutating and grossly exaggerating my case information, racketeered to the World Wide Web. SMH, run with it. I wonder too if I have a panel of letter readers dedicated to all the ones I've written. Enjoy, there's more to come. Shout out to my supporters, heart tag. Everyone is waiting, ... not on me, ... Hopefully, no matter what, Sarah Boone. Yeah, Vom. So this is her rescanning the letter that we already read. And I think, are we up to date now? I think we are. We are. Okay, now we're up to date to all of her letters right there. Dude, I can't wait to see her in trial. It's going to be very interesting. Plain Jane. All my supporters. I don't know. Do you think Sarah Boone has like a little army of hybristophiliacs, do you think? Murdoch apparently does. I don't know. Sarah, maybe. You never know. I feel like some people like to have, I don't know what's a proper term for it, but rescue syndrome, where you have someone that you know needs help and they have no one else to turn to. So you kind of want to be the hero for them and you're like, oh, makes yourself feel better. So I don't know. Is that what hybristophiliacs are? People just have rescue syndrome, fix it syndrome, think they could fix people. You would think she was the murder victim in all of this. Yeah, like I said, like we heard from her side of the story, okay? The body cam footage, the interrogation, and we haven't heard from Jorge or George's side at all. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce, but we haven't heard from his side at all. All we've heard is from her side of the story, her attitude, her. And she's like, oh, my story hasn't been out there for the world. You guys are all judging me. Yeah, she does have like we do have to wait for the trial to happen for her to be deemed guilty or not guilty, right? But from the stuff that we've seen so far, it's pretty fucking bad. It's pretty yikes. It would be a different story if, if he was alive, if the victim was alive today and she was arrested and he's going on a world tour giving his side of the story and she hasn't been able to say anything and people are already judging her and she hasn't had a word or anything out there for the public. But the reason why a lot of people are disgusted by her is because we have the body cam, we have the interrogation video, and now we have these fucking letters. But more importantly, we have the video that she recorded on her freaking cell phone because she's an idiot. Fucking idiot. I don't know. I still think it's really funny how she calls herself a above average inmate. It's like an above average inmate. I wonder how many other inmates in there are in there because they committed murder. How many other inmates are there writing these letters to the judges complaining that the judge is taking a cut of all the YouTube videos and the internet hits or whatever, or the website hits and all that stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure all of them know that, like, rule number one, you don't piss off the fucking judge, okay? You don't you don't accuse the judge of making money on the side for all this shit show that's going on. But yeah, she's above average inmate, guys. Above average. But Laura can't get the interrogation video and the video she had made through that. She's done for, no chance. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this lawyer. Like I said, we're only taking her side of her word for it, right? She could just be grossly exaggerating. Maybe she's just, I don't know, trying to stir something up, or maybe the lawyer really does suck, or it's just a combination of all of those together. But so far right now, her trial is set for, wait, let me pull up the exact date. It's set for, did I already exit out the window? Where'd it go? It is set for July 24th. Pre-trial, July 11th. Try to remember that. She's a really entitled person. I'm shocked she isn't defending herself at this point. I don't know. She might be. I think she would definitely testify. Yeah, she has to testify. She has to testify. She has to explain that video. She has to explain her experiences and all that stuff. She has to testify. There's no doubt that she's testifying. If the video wasn't out there, maybe. Because her side of the story was they were playing. He zipped himself in the suitcase. She thought it was funny. She saw that he left room to get out. She went to sleep. She was drunk. She woke up and she was like, oh shit, he's not here. Right? She definitely has to testify. Yeah. Oh, dude. Are we going to be able to watch the trial live? I haven't heard anything about, I'm pretty sure it's going to be live. I'm sure Court TV, Law and Crime and all that will definitely, yeah. I haven't seen anything in here that says that, they're not going to let the media record this. But we'll wait. The video ruins her entire story in defense. It's just horrible. Because, like, usually, I keep talking about this one case with Danielle Redlick. She had a lot of really bad headlines. So Danielle Redlick, I think one of the headlines was like, woman marries her stepfather. People are like, ooh, that sounds kind of weird. Woman killed husband and then went on a dating app afterwards. Like, ooh, that sounds really bad. Woman stabs husband and then waits like 10 hours to call the cops, right? Like, all that sounded really, really bad. However, when she went up there to testify, I really did believe her side of the story. She was in this abusive relationship. This guy was really had anger issues, and they were in a physical fight, and she was scared for her life. She grabbed the knife, stabbed him once, and then she fucking ran. In cases like that, I'm like, okay, if she probably did feel like she was in fear of her life, she probably felt like she had no other way to defend herself but to stab the person. But to leave someone in a suitcase for hours, laughing, pointing at them. Yeah, you may be drinking, you may be drunk, whatever. I don't care. And then like kicking the suitcase around. I don't know. That's a whole different breed of a person. Okay. That wasn't just a spur of the moment. I need to protect myself, get myself out of this bad situation. That was just like, you're just really fucking cruel and just disgusting. Yeah. But anyways, I did want to, let's see. Because Sarah has had. Let's count to see how many lawyers Sarah has had. Let's start off with lawyer number. Oh, here's lawyer number 1. All right, lawyer number 1. Oh no, this is lawyer number 2 that withdrew. Got another one here. Another one here. One second. New lawyer. And oh man. And then let me pull up this file really quick. Let's see. I thought I saved this. Motion to withdraw as counsel. Withdraw. Is this the file I'm looking for? Oh no, it logged me out. Give me a second. I have to refresh this. Sarah Boone. 6 or 7. Let's see right here. I have this one and this one. Okay. Because it is kind of funny to hear, knowing what you know about Sarah Boone so far, it is kind of funny to hear. They're like, oh my God, this woman's been through like 6 or 7 lawyers. Some of it's like not really like her fault though. Okay, let's which one is this one? 311, 39. Okay, so initially she was appointed. So let's go to let's go through the history of all the lawyers that Sarah Boone has had in the past and see why she has so many lawyers or why she cycled through so many. First, we got lawyer number 1. We had the Office of Public Defender was appointed to represent the defendant in this case. Let's zoom in here. However, on February 27, 2020, Mauricio Padilla filed a notice of appearance as counsel of record for the defendant. Defendant in this matter initially applied for and had the public defender appointed as counsel in this matter, but has now retained private counsel and seeks substitution of private counsel for all future representation. So initially, she got public defender. However, she was somehow, I don't know how though, was able to get a private counsel, and he's doing this pro bono. He mentioned this in a different letter that he's doing this completely pro bono. And of course, the state's going to reimburse him for certain expenses and stuff like that, like maybe like flights, hotels and stuff like that. But I thought it was really interesting because this lawyer is, he's from Miami. So he's got his office in Miami. This is happening in Orlando. That's like what, like a 6-hour drive. But if you're flying, what is it like? Really quick flight from Orlando to Miami to Orlando. But still, you got to travel to get there. But like, imagine doing this pro bono. You got to travel, you got to fly to get there, and you got to deal with someone like Sarah Boone. But it seems like, things were fine. A lot of things were happening. 2020, we had the pandemic happen, so probably not much going on there. But then it seems like, stuff was going on. We got all this like discovery stuff, blah, blah, blah. He's like trying to get experts or some correspondence and all that. But I don't know. Something happens 2 years later where lawyer number 2 was like, you know what? I'm withdrawing. Is this the one where he withdraws? Lawyer number 2 withdraws. Oh, nope. It's this one right here. Give me a second. I have my numbers off because technically there was a lawyer number 1 and that was a public defender. But she wanted to get a private one instead. Let me see. Lawyer. Oh, here it is. So something happens on May 6, 2022. So roughly a little bit more than 2 years later, this guy's been working on her case pro bono. And all of a sudden, second amended motion to withdraw. The undersigned is forced to withdraw as irreconcilable differences have arisen between undersigned and the defendant that have made it impossible for the undersigned to effectively represent his client. As always, it is difficult to convey all particulars to the court and at the same time maintain all duties to the client. Undersigned's relationship with defendant has become adversarial. The aforementioned adversarial relationship has interfered with the undersigned counsel's ability to effectively represent his client, especially preparing for trial. Undersigned relationship with the defendant has deteriorated to the point where undersigned counsel can no longer give effective aid in the fair representation of Ms. Boone's defense. Undersigned appreciates the court providing him the opportunity to amend his previously filed motion to withdraw. However, after further researching the issue, undersigned is still under the belief that the specifics of the adversarial relationship may disclose information that may prejudice his client, and as such will stand mute on the specifics. This motion is made in good faith for all the reasons stated above. So, Padilla Law Group, working on this case for more than 2 years, has been traveling from Miami to Orlando for any necessary court appearances. Was doing this pro bono, and you know what? Something happened, and he's like, I can't do this. I'm withdrawing. Lawyer withdrawals. Next, we got, what was this afterwards? It's the same thing. File for notice of appeal. Sorry, notice of appearance. Motion withdrawal. Okay. That's him withdrawing. Next, we got, let's see. Oh, is this not put up in order? Ooh. Next, we have. All right, now we have. This cause came on the day for the hearing, blah, 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 blah. Sarah Boone, represented by. Let's see. So, Sarah Boone was previously represented by her second lawyer, Mauricio Padilla. However, now they're going to appoint someone from the Office of the Public Defender. Okay, so this is the court being really quick. Like, okay, the other guy withdrew. Now we need to hire someone who's a public defender. All right, public defender hired. So now we have Robert Wesley. This is lawyer number 3. Public defender by and through the undersigned attorney pursuant to Did the undersigned counsel hereby certifies that there exists a conflict of interest in the above captioned case, and the counsel cannot continue such representation. So this happened, I think, the day after was it the day after? I think like shortly after. Shortly after they're appointed, they're like, you know what? I can't do this. There's a conflict of interest, and I need to file for a motion to withdraw. And they said that the reason why they were unable to is because, I don't really understand this part though. A conflict of interest. A conflict has arisen such that the public defender can no longer effectively represent the defendant due to the fact that the public defender's office represented Jorge Torres Jr. So actually, the reason why this public defender can't represent is because their office already represented George or Jorge. And this was actually in the case involving him and Sarah, because him and Sarah were in a domestic violence dispute. And I don't know which in particular. Oh, I think this is the one where he was arrested. So they had to represent him, and they're like, you know what? There's a conflict of interest. We represent the victim at some point, and yeah, we can't represent Sarah Boone. And so there goes lawyer number 3. Now we have lawyer number 4. Is this lawyer number 4 right here? Lawyer number 4. Okay, this is 4 days later. Comes now assistant regional counsel and moves this honorable court to enter its order, allowing the Office of Regional Conflict Counsel to withdraw from this case. So another lawyer was appointed, but now this lawyer is like, oh, you know what? I can't represent Sarah Boone because actually there's a witness in this case that we have already previously represented numerous of times, and that is Melissa Sexton. Melissa Sexton, I think I saw their name on the leasing. I think this is like the person that is in charge of like the apartment that Sarah and her boyfriend was living in. So Melissa Sexton, I'm pretty sure I saw her name on the leasing agreement. I think I'm pretty sure. And so they're like, you know what? We can't represent Sarah Boone because there's a witness in this case, and that's like the leasing. I don't think it's a leasing agent, but whoever's in charge of the apartment that they're living in. Yeah, so we represented them. So now we can't do that. Next, we got, there goes lawyer number 4. Now we have is this lawyer number 5? Okay, so lawyer number 5 right here. Order allowing the court, the Office of Criminal Conflict and Civil Regional Counsel to withdraw. I think this is the same one, right? It was a different one. This is another person that has to withdraw. Mark A. Consalo. So they're withdrawing. Now we have Mark Consalo. Yep, withdrawing right here. And then I think after this person withdraws, we have I think this one doesn't he withdraw for irreconcilable differences? Okay. The cause with having come this is because Mark Consalo's motion to withdraw from further representation defendant, the court having fully advised on premises, therefore, he's allowed to withdraw. And now this is them appointing Frank Bankowitz, the current lawyer that is working on the case. Hold on a second. I think Mark Consalo also cited irreconcilable differences. The regional counsel. Yeah, this is David Varrett. So David Varrett withdraws because they represented a witness that's going to be on the trial. Then afterwards, I could have sworn I saw irreconcilable differences somewhere. But it doesn't really say what. Maybe this one didn't have a reason. Never mind. So the reason why this lawyer withdraws, the undersigned counsel has a conflict with the representation defendant that precludes him from further representation in this case. The undersigned asked for a new counsel appointed. Okay, so it just has a conflict. We don't really know what that means. So maybe they're not really specific. Maybe conflict is in terms of like, oh, they have a conflict because they represent someone that's also part of this trial as well. So, even though people are saying like, oh, Sarah Boone went through like, 6, 7, 8 lawyers, it's not really, most of it wasn't really her fault. It was just, there's just conflict of interest, it seems like. However, for lawyer number 2, something went down where there was irreconcilable differences, and also current lawyer, something is going down right now where he at some point did not want to represent her anymore after being assigned, was it like 6 months later? Being assigned 6 months later, he's like, you know what? I would like to withdraw, judge. And the judge was like, no, you can't. And now, Frank Bankowitz is stuck with Sarah Boone. So that is the history of Sarah Boone and all of her lawyers. How many were there total? 6 lawyers. Oh, she's right. 6 lawyers. Okay. I don't know why I thought 7. Yeah, she's had 6 lawyers in the past. Public defenders can be awful, not communicate with their client until the day before the trial, and then talking people into taking the deal. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, their caseload is probably ridiculous. But yeah, that's tough. The lawyer said her lawyer now is pretty good from what's been heard. The one that she has right now, the lawyer that she's claiming hasn't been communicating with her and stuff like that, Bankowitz. Masterson found guilty on 2 counts. Who is Masterson? Wait, is that the actor? Masterson? Danny Masterson or something like that? Or is that someone else? But the difference to that they all want her to make a plea deal and she just won't do it. I don't know. I have no idea, Paul. It's a good question. Yeah, not too sure. But yeah, that's Sarah Boone, guys. Oh, Jesus. So far, it's set for July. I don't know if it's really going to happen. It seems like there's a lot of issues going on with her and her lawyers and communication. So we'll see. I mean, last time we heard from her was, what was that letter written like a couple days ago? I don't know. Gotta wait. It was the actor? Yeah, I haven't been following that trial. Let me see. Guilty. Actor Danny Masterson is found guilty of 2 out of 3 counts of rape in a retrial. Oh, that's right. Retrial. What's he facing? How many years? Let me see what Los Angeles Times says. Actor Danny Masterson was convicted. Get the Chrome window up. He met women through Church of Scientology in the early 2000s. Jury hung on a 3rd count after deliberating for a little more than a week. They reached a verdict. They were deadlocked on the 3rd. The courtroom was packed with a mix of Masterson's relative supporters and other observers. The actor's wife, Bijou Phillips, let out a pained cry shortly after the verdict was read and began sobbing. Most of the allegations against Masterson aired in the roughly 2-week trial. First surfaced in 2017. The victim, identified as Chrissy B, Jen B, and Ann Trout, were all practicing Scientologists when they met Masterson through the church. Jurors convicted Masters of sexually assaulting Jen B and Trout, but were unable to reach a verdict on the allegation against Chrissy B. Two of the women said they waited more than a decade to come forward because the church officials discouraged them from contacting law enforcement, leaving them in the impossible situation of choosing between their faith and accountability. All the women had relatives in Scientology and feared they would be excommunicated and labeled as suppressive persons if they went against Masters in the church. Is he part of the Church of Scientology still? Scientology officials have repeatedly denied prohibiting members from cooperating with the police, but after 2021 preliminary hearing, Judge Charlene ruled that the church has expressly written a doctrine that discourages members from reporting one another to law enforcement. The church has said that Almedo's interpretation is correct. Let's see. Served drinks. They became disoriented, nauseous. Oof. Jesus. Yeah, I haven't followed this case at all. You guys know what he's facing? I was going to mention the article. Minimum 30 years? Jeez. Yeah, I've not heard about that. All right, guys, I'm going to go use the bathroom really quick. I was going to do a major update for Murdoch and Lori Vallow as well, but Sarah Boone kind of took up a good chunk of time. Maybe we'll just do those separately. But is there anything else going on that you guys want me to cover that we should take a look into? I know Lori was charged with, or she's been indicted for the attempted assassination of her niece's ex-husband, right? She's got her sentencing coming up. She's got the trial for the murder of Charles Vallow, her ex-husband, and Lori's got a lot of stuff going on. And then Murdoch's been indicted on federal charges. Stuff going on with Murdoch as well. Really? You believe that he was stalking one of the victims? How long has he been married to his current wife for? Do you guys know? Lori, wait, she wants a new trial or she wants appeal? Like a retrial? Oh, I did. We did make a video about her, Fire Drake. What was her name again? That one was pretty crazy too. I think there's some new information that's out about it. About that case, but I haven't looked yet. Can't remember her name. It was... What was her name again? Oh, God. I have her face. But yeah, she was accused of murdering her husband with lacing his drink with fentanyl. And he overdosed. And then the same day, she like had a... that was pretty wild. The same day, she was like celebrating purchasing a home, and then she like invited guests over to celebrate or something. Oh yeah, Corey Richens. Yeah, I remember she had like a really interesting name. Yeah, Corey Richens. That one's an interesting one too. Yeah, we talked about Corey Richens. We also talked about the teenager, the 19-year-old who gave birth in a hospital and then threw her baby in the trash can. That one... Should I do a follow-up on that one? Oh man, that one's wild too, because her her attorney is trying to place the blame on the hospital, saying they're like, oh, it's the hospital's fault. They didn't, he's claiming that the hospital didn't tell the girl that she was pregnant and that it was the hospital's fault because, you know, they gave her medication that maybe even killed the baby, right? Yeah, it was wild. They're trying to blame the hospital right now. But it's like, dude, you still gave birth to a baby, whether or not it was dead or alive at the time. You know, that's a debated thing, right? But you threw her in the trash can. Ah, dude, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it. Her defense attorney's doing whatever he can to protect his client and give her good defense and stuff like that. But Jesus, I don't know. Ugh. Blaming the hospital. Thank you. I hate it when I can't remember. You're not buying it at all. Yeah, I took a little skim of it. Should I cover it at some point? Ugh. The hospital staff are probably like, what the fuck? Why are you blaming us? But we'll see. Menendez. I don't know. Am I familiar with him? I don't know if I am. Oh, wait. Yes. Yeah, Menendez. I did hear about that. Murder of their father, like, what, 20, 30 years ago or something like that? And there was a letter that surfaced recently that showed that one of the sons was in fear of his dad and the dad was really abusive or something like that. Yeah. I did hear about that, actually. But yeah, we'll see. There's one that's happening right now, which I think is kind of crazy. I saw the name Scott Peterson and I thought, what? Scott Peterson? Lacey Peterson? What's this? Let me turn on my volume a little bit. But yeah, there's a trial happening with a guy named Scott Peterson who was like a armed security guard during the Parkland shooting spree. And he was armed at the time, but people were criticizing him because there's like a security footage of him, I don't know, like hiding out with his like weapon in his hand and stuff like that. But I looked at the guy. I was like, this guy's like 60 years old. But I don't know. He's probably like scared, close to retirement. You know, doesn't know how many shooters there are. Probably knew that it was not a pistol that was being shot. I don't know. But I took a glance at that one really quickly too. But that guy's also on trial. But yeah, we'll see. He was? Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about the fine details. I just heard about they were trying to get a retrial. They've been sitting in jail for like a very long time. Really? I was kind of hoping he gets stuck with a frivolous lawsuit charge. Yeah, he's going up in trial right now. It's crazy. I don't know. About that one. I wonder if any of the other Sarah Boone free trial stuff is like good. Oh, you guys want to watch there's this new channel that I found, this true crime channel. It's actually pretty good. Share with you guys. I actually found two that I've been watching right now. One is called Disturbed Reality. Popped up in my feed. And then also the other one is called, oh, this one had a really catchy name. She covers like true crime stories and oh, did I subscribe? I hope I subscribed to them. I feel like it's so hard to look at who you subscribe to. If I want to look at my subscriptions, where do I go? Does anyone know? If I, like people that I subscribe to, where do I look? Where do I see? It says I'm subscribed to 275 channels, but how do I click on it? Oh, wait, here it is. I want to look at like the people I'm subscribed to, not like their videos. Yeah, I found these two true crime channels that are like really, really good. Later. Actually, hold on. I found three channels that I've been watching. Put them in chat. I'm trying to find them. I can't find the other one. Oh, Euphobia. Euphobia? I think that's her name. Euphobia. Yeah, Euphobia is one, and then the other one is like, crap, I forgot the name. I like how chill and relaxed your stream is. Props interacting in chat like this. Yeah, the way I interact with my stream on YouTube is very similar to like how streamers do it on Twitch. I think it's like there's a very different style, right? I feel like streamers on YouTube like to do like the announcement stuff, and they like will get to the comments later on. But like for me, like I just do it Twitch style, which is like you're just kind of just chilling, interacting. But sometimes when I'm reading though, I'll get to like the comments and questions later on. There's this. Oh, hold on. There is this video that I do want to watch with you guys. Did you guys see the video I posted in Discord about the woman that was stabbed like 30 times? She was stabbed in the face. But the reason why I wanted to watch it was because a lot of the cases that we watch, right, are the ones where it's like you don't really hear from the victims. You don't really know what happened, their side of the story, or anything like that. You just hear about, you know, murdered, and then you hear the murderer. They're on the stand. They're testifying their side of the story. But I thought it was really nice to actually like listen from a survivor. She was stabbed like 30 plus times. The first time she was actually stabbed in the face, and she didn't know it initially. She thought she was punched in the face. And yeah, she survived. I thought it was a really cool story. It was that one, and then I also wanted to watch. Oh, do you guys see like the Morgan Tremaine update? I thought that was pretty cool too. I think it was worth watching. Cash grabs. Wait, what's a cash grab trial? Which one? Evil dwarf. Where do you see evil dwarf? Yeah. Do you guys want to watch this? It's called Unfiltered Stories. You guys should subscribe to this channel. I like them. I watched like 3 of their videos so far. Yeah, it was like 20 minutes long. Who? Oh, he tried Elaine a little bit. Yeah, we should should we watch, which one do you want to watch first? Do you want to watch the Survivor story first or the Morgan Tremaine video first? I already watched both of them, but I don't want to watch it again. The Paltrow one. The Paltrow one, I'm divided. My audience and I don't agree on that one. It's okay though. But I feel bad for the old guy. A lot of people drag the shit out of Terry Sanderson. I feel bad for him. I don't think he was doing it to get money. I think he seriously thought that he got hit by Gwyneth. And I think that his star witness just, you know, probably just has bad memory or something and really thought he saw, I don't know. Like, his witness was a little bit wonky. I kind of felt bad for him. But I don't think he did it for the money. I don't think his family did it for the money. I don't think there was a GoPro video out there that the family hid. You know, I don't know. I'm glad that Gwen won though, I'm glad that she won though, because I do believe her side of the story. But yeah, I don't think he was doing it for like notoriety or anything. But I feel bad for the guy. Yeah, we disagree. Okay, I feel bad for the guy. But yeah, I mean, it ended okay though, because she at the end she was like, you know what, like from what I've heard, she said that like he doesn't have to pay for the lawyer's fees or anything. She's like, it's cool. I think she just wanted to clear her name, have it be streamed, you know, clear with the public and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I did feel bad for him though. Watch this. We're done with Sarah Boone stuff. Let's just hang out and chill. I really like the story. My husband stabbed me 37 times, and there's no goriness or anything like that. Just a heads up. Melanie Gonzalez surviving story.
Shocked when he did that. The look that he had in his eyes was like I was staring at a totally different person. Like if I was staring at a monster. It was so hard for him to get him to, you know, come back to reality. And I was literally like, he's gonna hurt me. So I remember like telling him, Ivan, please don't kill me. Please don't do this.
And she's so good at storytelling. Like the way that she tells her story, you can just envision everything that she's saying. At least in my head.
The kids are sleeping. You cannot do this. The kids are gonna wake up. You cannot kill me in front of the kids. You cannot kill me, because what's gonna happen with the kids? Begging him for my life. My name is Melanie Gonzalez, and this is how I survived being stabbed 37 times by my husband. I grew up in Humboldt Park, Chicago. I met my husband like 9 years ago through my best friend who was a sister. It was about 2 months that I caved in because he was very like he would come spend the night. Me and his sister were roommates.
Hi,
He would come
Hugo.
spend the night every weekend, him and all his other brothers.
Wait, Goop products? The Goop Fedder's always being sued for the shitty products. Wait, what? What products are they being sued for?
And they would come and spend the night. He would like bother me. He would like, try to watch Netflix with me. And finally one night I was like, fine. So what made me like him was he was so sweet in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. In the beginning. That's how it be
So
sometimes.
me and his sister always been best friends.
And they turned to the fucking
We were
devil.
roommates when me and her brother got together. He ended up moving in with us. And then we kind of just, eventually grew apart. We got our own place. She stayed there with her significant other. And even to this day, we're very close. We just limit on what we talk about, but we're very close. And
Wait, glass vaginal. Wait, why were they sued for that? What happened? Did like shatter? Were they sued for that? Thoughts? I don't know much about that case. Someone just gave me an update and just read a quick article, but yeah, I haven't read anything about it yet. I don't think they did the sentencing yet, though, Hugo. Did they?
And it wasn't until like we moved in together that things started to like, shake up a little bit and get a little bit. And then I started to see like, how he was when he was angry and how he would talk to me. So I remember the first big argument that we got into.
Oh, was that her?
Was because his ex-girlfriend at the time, she kept calling him and the ex-mother-in-law kept calling him. And I just remember telling him that I was tired of them calling. And it just went from like 0 to 100. He pulled over, he grabbed the phone, threw it, made this big old scene. And I just was like, oh my God. I was like, take me home. And he tried to like, do the whole, I'm sorry, I was just mad because the whole situation got me frustrated. I continued the relationship.
Dude, he sounds like a fucking child. Terry claimed his life got ruined by accident, yet he's there traveling the world, smiles, doing more than 89% of us will ever do. Chat escalated quickly. I believe so. Poucher was a crazy person. I don't think there's anything wrong with the vaginal bead stuff, but like glass, I don't know. I would be so paranoid if that shit broke. I don't know. Why not just use plastic, silicone?
With him because I don't want to say I felt bad, but I felt like he never really got the love. So maybe if I love him, then I can get him, to be a better person. So when we moved in together, that's when I noticed like the pattern of him snapping and then acting like he was sorry and me being like, okay, just one step at a time, we could work through this together, He busted the windshield out of my car.
Jesus.
He punched the mirror and the glass flew in my eye and I got stitches, he kicked my rearview mirror, like little things. And then I always took him back because he always came with them puppy eyes, like, you're all I have. I was spending the night at his mom's house and he actually was the first time that he put his hands on me.
I wonder, oh man, the kids must have witnessed this. Oh, dude, I always feel so bad for the kids, man.
Put me like in a chokehold and like body slam me. His mom woke up and she tried to separate it, and that was the first time that he actually like, put his hands on me. He ended up showing up to my mom's house and was like with the puppy dog eyes, please. And that's when he told me that he was suffering from bipolar disorder. I can't give up on him because he had bipolar. I have to try to help him. I took him back. We got an apartment, I want to say the following week or two. It started with a car.
You guys, she just mentioned that he has bipolar disorder. You guys ever heard of that phrase where it's like, mental illness is not your fault, but it's your responsibility? It's like, yeah, you might have bipolar disorder and you might have anger issues and stuff like that, but go to a fucking therapist, man. Get that shit in order.
He busted my windshield. Then it went from that to him. We're at his mother's house and he kicks in my rearview mirror because he's upset and he's trying to tackle me to the floor. to him punching the mirror in the bathroom of our home and the glass shooting and hitting me in the eye. I got 3 stitches. What was hard for me was because his mom was always like, just give him time, she would always pull the guilt trip on me, like, he's going through a lot, just let him breathe and then come
Wait, his mom said this?
back and then start talking. We got married in 20.
His mom said
What
this?
always for me was because his mom was always like, just give him time, she would always pull the guilt trip on me, like, he's going through a lot, just let him breathe and then
Yeah, probably why he ended up this way, because his mom seemed like an enabler.
come back and then start talking. We got married in 2017. Things were not like they were going up and down. And then I think he knew I was kind of getting fed up, and then he asked me to marry him. He wants to marry me, and I let him know, like, okay, if we get married, things are going to be different. We got married in a church. We did the whole reception. It was a beautiful wedding. And then I found out I was pregnant a month before the wedding. So I did not enjoy it at all. It was a beautiful wedding. I danced. I could not drink. I could not do anything. So I was like a little upset. And then we moved to a different house and I noticed a change. I found out that I was 3 months pregnant. We just got married. He cheated on me. So then that's when
Wait, he cheated on her after they got married? Google Gwyneth Paltrow goop sued as man claims the candle exploded. How would candle wax explode? False advertisement lawsuit. Oh, I don't know anything about that. He has the Brian laundry mom. The son can do no wrong. I bet the mother didn't like her either, but tried to win her back for the son's sake.
emotionally was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I've always said it, and it's going to sound horrible. We can argue, we can fight, but he never cheated on me. And then boom, he cheated on me. Here he comes with his puppy dog eyes and his, I can't do this, I can't live without you, I want to be a father to my kids, I want to see them grow up. Being a child who didn't grow up with both her parents, that's the one thing I want for my kids is both parents. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm changing him. He's changing. We're having a baby. We just got married. He messed up, but we're going to work through it. We're going to try to make
You mean if it got too hot and heavy, the glass would shatter? I'm with you, Corgi. Hi, Patty Cat.
make it work because he made such improvements that we can't just end it now. And we moved to Florida and COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I want to say that was the worst time of my life because he picked at me and picked at me and picked at me. And I would literally be in the bathroom crying. During COVID time is when he started accusing me of moving to Florida to be with like another man.
What?
And
oh, I forgot how bizarre this is. Yo, they were in lockdown, okay? And this man was accusing her of cheating on him, but they were in lockdown. Okay, she was with him 24/7.
Mind you, we're locked down. We're always together, all the time together, 24/7. Like I wasn't working, he wasn't working. It was so bad. And then I got a job, so that kind of kept us separated, and it kind of like things started dying down. I want to say I was there for about a year at that location, and then we decided to move to Port Richey. My mom and my dad, they live in Tampa, and my mom's the type of person, if she don't hear from me in a couple of days, she'll pop up at the house. So little did I know that the real reason for us moving to Port Richey was because it's about an hour away, and she can't just pop.
Yep, isolate the fucking victim. People who think they have any sort of right to put their hands on someone to destroy things like that, the first will never change. I think they do. They can change. They just need to get therapy. There needs to be a lot of like you got to help yourself, man. You can't just be like, oh, I'm sorry. And the person forgives you and then nothing happens, right? You got to get some fucking therapy. You got to know that you got to change. Cause like, I don't know. Especially when you have a household of kids, that's going to create some generational fucking trauma just because you didn't go to therapy and get anger issues and stuff like that, sort it out.
Well, when she don't hear from me, I decided to go back into management. I got the job of my dreams. Love that job. Oh my God, the job of my dreams.
Oh, I love the way that she talks about her job too.
And I started realizing my self-worth.
Yes. Yes.
I'm better than this.
Yep.
I deserve better than this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a career of my dreams. I have 3 beautiful children, the house of my dreams, and there's only one thing.
This is what I was mentioning earlier when we are not earlier, but I mentioned this like a couple streams ago. When you're in like a really bad relationship, sometimes like it's just hard to listen to your friends, your family, right? People tell you, oh, you got to get out, or it's not good for you, it's not healthy for you. It's just something like, I know, it's like a self-realization thing where it's like you just don't want to listen to other people, but at some point you're gonna realize that, like, holy fucking shit, like, why am I in this relationship? I'm better than this. I need to be treated better than this, right? I deserve better.
Thing that's holding me back. He destroyed everything on Christmas, and when I called the police on him, they told me that there was nothing they can do. One layer that made him mad was when I called the law to get divorced, and the attorney told me that we were never legally married, and that the pastor never sent us the paperwork. I remember.
Is that better though? That the fact that they weren't legally married, the pastor didn't send paperwork? Wait a second. Oh. I guess when you do your tax returns and all of that, you don't have to show them your marriage certificate or anything like that. Jesus. Thanks for popping in. Have fun at work, Fire Drake. Have a good one. Out of necessity, I lost my shiny suit of armor and the white charger. You can't rescue people in quicksand, and the Air Force said tools serve you poorly. Story like this really makes me sad. It's just like flag after flag, red flag. But don't take steps to keep yourself safe. Yeah, it's just tough though, because when you're in a relationship like this, it's just hard because like you want to wish the person that you're with the best, right? You see the good side of them. You're like, and all you do is focus on the good side, right? You're like, oh, this is how it could be when we're really happy. This is how it could be. Like, this is how happy we could be. If only they weren't, having anger issues. Only if they weren't like abusive and all that stuff. But yeah, it's tough.
I remember being like the biggest weight off my shoulders. So Mother's Day, we got into an argument, and I told him.
So they're getting an argument on Christmas. Christmas. I'm sure the kids fucking witnessed that. Mother's Day.
You know what? I'm done. I have no fight in me. And he's like, you're done? Then I won't come back from Chicago. I'll stay over there. I'll take all my stuff to Chicago, and I will never come back and see you and the kids.
And I fucking hate people like that, I would never see you and the kids. You don't care about the kids. You do not give a shit about the kids. The fact that like he's threatening this, say, I would never see you and the kids, you're dragging the kids into it, like that's such BS. I fucking hate people like that.
And normally I would be like, you can't do that to the kids. And I would fight him so hard because I wanted him to be a part of my kid's life.
Yeah, he was trying to manipulate her. Fucking.
And that day I said, okay. And that was the first time he shut up and walked away from me. The next day, I woke up like nothing. 5:30 in the morning, getting ready for work, doing my daily routine, put my stuff in the car, came back inside, filled my water jug. I noticed my daughter was awake. I knew something was off. And I remember passing by my daughter's room and seeing him sitting there, shaking. And I remember the way his foot was hanging off the bed, shaking. This isn't gonna end well, like something is gonna happen. And I remember the night before I told my mom, I can't wait for him to leave because either he's gonna kill me or I'm gonna kill him. And at that, like passing by the room, seeing him shake like that, it was like paranoid because he was too quiet, and the way he was shaking gave me the rush of anxiety. Like I literally was like, I just gotta go to work. I remember my daughter woke up and was like, mommy, like in her like half asleep, like mommy. And I'm like, it's okay, go back to sleep, and like patting her to go back to sleep. And then when I seen her like, knocking out, I told him, hey, Malia's waking up. I don't know if she's up or she's not up. Can you check on her? So he gets up, he checks on her. But I remember like getting this uneasy feeling like I didn't want to go by him. So I remember asking him like, hey, you're going to Chicago tomorrow. I know you were going to take the kids with you to my mom's house because she's going to take you to the airport in the morning, but can you wait until like, I get out of work so I can say goodnight to them? So I don't have to drive all the way to Tampa to say goodnight, and then you could just leave tonight,
Yeah, at this point, he was probably hoping that she's like begging for, please don't go, don't leave. And the fact that she was just so cold to him, and he's like, yeah,
And he was
probably.
like, no, I'm not gonna make anything easy for you. I was like, okay. And he was like, you know, I hate you, right? And then he was like, I
What a
effing hate you
loser.
so much. Calm, the way he said it. Angry. With so
I'm assuming there, I'm just making assumptions here, but maybe there hasn't been any history of him hurting the kids. Maybe he's good to the kids and only has hurt the mom. Even though, how good are you to the kids if you're really hurting the mom in front of your kids, right? But there has to be a reason why she was okay with leaving the kids with him.
such like rage in his eyes. I effing hate you so much. And I said, you know what? I gotta get to work and I don't have time for you to be acting petty. And I remember grabbing my water bottle and walking. I have to pass him now. He's standing there. And I remember walking and I remember him taking one step close to me, like when I was almost a turn. And I remember seeing his fist. I remember seeing him pull his hand all the way back and punching me in my nose. At that time, I didn't know that he stabbed me in my face. I just thought he punched me. So I'm like, oh my God, there's so much blood. But the first thing that came to my head was like, you broke my nose, dude. Like, are you kidding me right now? I have to go to work and you just broke my nose. So I remember running to the sink and I'm like, you broke my nose. Are you
Dude, this guy was 28. 28 at the time where he stabbed his wife 37 times.
freaking psycho? What is wrong with you?
28, you definitely old enough to know better.
But I'm not paying attention to the amount of blood that I've lost. I just remember trying to clean my face. And then he came up behind me and was like punching me in my back. And so I'm trying to clean my face and he's grabbing me and punching me in my back. And that's when I was like, okay, we're gonna fight. Until I turned around. When I turned around, I seen the knife. And I looked down and I seen all the blood. And I looked to the side and I seen all the blood. And that's where like my fight or flight instincts came in. And I grabbed him by his wrist and I pushed him into the fridge and I ran. But when you wear business attire and you have
So at this point, she only thought that he punched her in the face and he was punching her in the back, when the entire time he stabbed her in the face and then was stabbing her in the back.
the shoes that you have on, as soon as I passed the blood, I slipped and I fell. Boom.
Oof.
I crawled to the door. I'm crawling to the door and he's just hitting me in my back. I get the door open. I grab the handle to the door and I open the door, right? And I go to scream and he slams the door and drags me back. And at this time, I'm like in and out. Like, I'm like looking on the floor, like, Melanie, get up. Like, if you don't get up, I remember like staring at the floor, like all this, but I'm like, you're gonna die. And I got up and I grabbed his hands and I remember we're fighting and I'm like this and like this, you know, and he stabs me like across right here, trying to just get away and defend myself, but I don't want to leave my kids. So like now I'm tugging and warring with him, trying to figure out, okay, how can I grab the kids? How can I run away? I can't leave the kids because what if he turns to the kids? So I'm gonna have to kill him. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm just like, my son gets out the room. And I remember him stopping and I turned around and my son had him in like his arm around his shoulder, his other arm under his armpit, and pulled him with all his strength from the hallway all the way to almost to the living room. And that's when my mommy instincts came.
I think the son at this time too was like, I don't know, like under 10 years old, really young. I don't think teenager or anything.
And I'm like, no. So I run up to him, I grab his wrist, and I'm trying to take the knife off his hand, and that's how I cut my finger right here. Because I'm trying to take the knife off his hand. And I tell my son, Andre, please, stop. Please. So then my son goes to run out. I hear my son come back in, and then I hear my daughters. I'm falling and getting back up. I'm falling and getting back up. I tell my son, Andre, lock your sisters in the room. and go get help. I'm trying to get away. I'm trying to run to the back door, the screen. I can't open the glass screen. He's grabbing me and pulling me. I get to the patio. He grabs me. He drags me back in the house. He throws me on the floor, and then I fall on the floor, and I remember I'm on
I don't know. Yeah, it's wild. Getting stabbed in the face, stabbed in the back. Yeah, it's crazy.
my arms, face down, and I'm trying to get up, and he comes around with the knife and stabs me across my face. I instantly am like, that's it. I'm freaking dead. And I told him, that's it. You win, I'm dead. And he grabs his fist right here and he punches me like 3 times in the eye. And then he stopped stabbing me. I don't know where he got this stick from. He starts beating me with a stick in the back of my head and my back. I keep getting back up,
God, this guy's such a fucking loser.
but I can't get up anymore. And then I hear toot, 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 my door, the keypad. And the door opens. And then I hear my son. And I hear my neighbor. I got up so fast. I ran to the back. I'm fighting to get out of the screen door. He comes. He grabs me by my shirt. And I'm telling him, I don't have no more fight in me, just let me go. He kind of switched back and he's like, crap.
Yeah, I'm gonna get caught.
The neighbor came in. The neighbor saw. The neighbor went screaming to his wife, call the police. So now he's freaking out. He can't find his car keys. So he's searching through my pockets for my keys. He dragged me all over the house so that I can find the keys. And I'm trying to explain to him, I can't see. I'm not scared. I'm not sad. I'm not anything. I'm dead. Like in my mind, I'm like, I'm dead. He starts freaking out because I'm telling him I can't see. He lets me go. I run to the back and my son's on the opposite side of the screen door and he's trying to, open it. And that's when he looks up and he actually looks at me. And he stops and he, and I told him, don't look at me, Andre.
This is her son. Poor kid.
Open the door. I took my sweater off. I wrapped it around my head and I tied it tight.
See, I found the story a little bit after the Letitia Stout case, because like here we're hearing her version of events, right? How she was stabbed, the guy put the knife down, started hitting her with a stick, and like I don't know, just thinking about like, oh my god, poor Gannon. I don't know, because like we heard about like what the police think happens to Gannon, right? Oh, so sad. Yeah.
And I told him, push the door, and that's I start feeling weak now. So I'm like trying to push the door. He opens the door.
That's why it's kind of nice to hear the victim side of the story, like the survivors. Yeah, I don't know. Usually we just hear stories about like, victims that don't make it, right? Only side of the story you hear is from the murderers or murderers.
I tell him, Andre, grab your sisters. He runs into the room, he grabs the sisters, and I said, I'm gonna use the last bit of my strength and we're gonna run. So he grabs his sisters and I use my last bit of strength and we're running from the back through the left side of the house to the front and I see my neighbor. And it was just like, I saw Jesus, like I could take a deep breath because I knew like my kids were gonna be saved. So he's like, go into the house. And I told him, no, put the kids in the house. I'll sit in front of your house. I didn't want to bring blood in his house and I didn't want to scare my kids any more than they were already scared.
Aww.
I sat in front of his house and he sat right there with me. He's on the phone with the police. I could hear my husband getting into the car and driving off. The ambulance came and I remember the ambulance driver was arguing with the police officer because they didn't call in a trauma, but the police officer was like, we thought it was just a domestic dispute. And I remember looking at the ambulance guy and I'm like, I'm gonna die, right? And he's like, you're not gonna die. And I told him, tell me the truth. I'm gonna die. And he's
Yeah, I don't really care for the music, the text box either. I'd rather just take out the music.
like, you're not gonna die. We're gonna help you. We're gonna make sure you don't die. And I looked at my neighbor and I said, make sure my mom gets my kids. Because I'm gonna die. And it's like that feeling of like, you're gonna die. Like, that is the worst feeling in the world because then everything flashes before your eyes. I got my mom, I got my dad, I got my brothers, I got my sisters, I got my kids. My kids. What's gonna happen to my kids? Who's gonna take my kids? And I walked, and the whole time I'm in surgery, my stepmom is talking with the DCF people, and that's when they tell my stepmom that they're taking my kids away.
Dude, could you fucking believe that? What? If her parents are there, why don't the kids stay with the parents? That's so traumatizing for the kids. I don't understand that. What protocol is that?
I failed my kids because I knew I was in a domestic violence situation and I knew I was going to get stabbed 37 times and I knew that I could just get up and leave and I knew all the resources that there was out there in the state of Florida. Mind you, I've only been here 3 years. So they're going to take the kids away. I remember being so angry. And
I feel like if you were the kids, you would not want to go to some stranger's place and stay with them. You'd rather just stay with family. Like, I don't understand why didn't they just place the kids with her parents' house or something like that?
I remember driving, getting out the hospital, being so afraid. And I remember the first night I was home, I was so scared. It was raining. And my mom and her husband were like, oh, we're gonna go get some food. But I was just so tired that I didn't want to go with them. And then they left, and I had so much anxiety because my brain was like not registering that it was rain. It was like telling me like that's him trying to get into the window. I believe that it takes a tribe to move further. And I've always been the type of person that I've always been alone. I've never liked to tell people my business, and I never liked to really be around people. And if, you know, my best friend understood that I wasn't an easy friend, but she still loved me. And when my best friend came to make me breakfast, my cousins came from Orlando, my mom, and they wouldn't leave me alone. As much as I wanted to be alone, they were like, no, we are here. And the day that I got my kids back when I moved into the new house was the best day of my life.
I wonder how long it took for her to get her kids back.
I can't sit up here and hate the world and hate life because why did he let him take my eye? And why do I have no hair right here? I can't be upset at anything because I'm still alive and I'm still with my kids. And there's life after domestic violence. There's life after trauma. You just have to learn how to live it.
Oh, that was her story. I don't know. I thought it was so good. You could hear from like a survivor. Somewhere I heard 30 years. Wait, what are you responding to? Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share that because like, you know, we just like watch these cases, don't really hear from the victims. You know, I don't know. It was so good. There was this and oh man. Unfiltered stories. And then the other one was Euphoria. But I don't know. Do I want to watch the Euphoria one? We watched the one where it was like jealous girl that killed her Indonesian classmate with poison coffee. Thanks for sharing this. Yeah, I just thought it was so good. What happened to him? What was his name again? Hold on, look her up. Husband's name was Manuel Villaseñor. Conviction. No, I couldn't really find anything much about him. I think I remember Googling him. We have his, is that him? I think this is him right here. This guy? Is this one or is this different? Man charged with attempted murder, stabbed wife numerous times. He only stopped after the kitchen knife broke. So that's why he picked up the stick and started beating her with it. Jesus. He grabbed a wooden club and struck the woman over the head a couple times. Deputy said Villacenter also pushed the woman against the closet door, breaking off its hinges, and forced her head and shoulders through the drywall. She had 5 stab wounds on the back of her, on her back, a stab wound on her right shoulder, a deep cut on the left side of her neck. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she's very lucky that she didn't like hit an artery or something like that. A 10-centimeter cut from the left side of the forehead from her ear, a cut on her right middle finger. He looks like a fucking, yeah, like one of those like starry-eyed fishes or something. But I don't really know how long he was convicted for. June 3rd. What does this article say? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's still waiting trial or anything like that. I have no idea. Get some sleep. Well, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate ya. Did you guys want to watch the Morgan Tremaine video afterwards? Let's see. We can watch it really quickly. Morgan Tremaine. Did you guys watch this one yet? Where is it? Oh, thanks, Taxi. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you. I feel bad for all of her children, but I'm so glad they don't have to put up with that anymore. Yeah. Because, you know, there are some kids that live all the way up to age of 18 in a very abusive household. What's up with Morgan? He just did like a little update video. Let's watch it.
So it's been a year. On May 25th, 2022,
Hi, Morgan. You guys want subtitles for Morgan?
I took the stand for Johnny against Amber Heard in a defamation lawsuit that became immensely popular online.
Handsome, spicy Draco. We love to see him.
I had a viral moment. Things have changed for me quite a bit in the last year, and I still get a lot of questions about it. So I thought a year out, we can talk about what's different for me, my thoughts on where Johnny is now, my thoughts on where Amber is or isn't now, and we're going to answer some frequently asked questions that I get on my live streams, as well as react to my...
Does he stream on YouTube? Or I know he streams on Twitch, but I don't know if he still does anymore. Does he still stream on Twitch? Let's see. Twitch? Think I'm back. Let's chat. Okay, so he streams on Twitch. It's not very often. See, guys, me and Morgan, we're on this website. Okay, make an account. Join us on Twitch. Subtitles are fine. Okay.
My viral moments, which I have not actually seen all the way through. Number one question I get asked is, do I regret it? Of course not. No. This was something I knew the truth about. I was in a unique position to give some information and help someone that I knew was, I don't know if he's totally innocent, but definitely innocent of what he was being accused of. And I knew that there was some media manipulation taking place. 2 of the camera guys that worked for me during all of that time that I testified about have come forward to corroborate my...
Oh, I haven't seen this. Ex-TMZ field producer Jesse Rowe comes back on the Hollywood Raw podcast to share his first-hand experience at the courthouse when Amber Heard walked out with a bruise. Oh, interesting. Maybe we should watch this. Also share stories about working at an LA courthouse and hints that there's a secret entrance underneath for celebrities to sneak out. Okay, I mean, I can believe that. I never tried Twitch. Well, me and Morgan are on there. You know, you guys want to pop in and say hi.
My testimony, they came out and said, yeah, everything you said was true. I remember, and I was there. That
We got to watch that.
Actually leads me to my next big question people ask me is, did TMZ come after me? No, they did not.
Good.
They understood that they were better off just leaving it alone because they'd already gotten so much bad press out of this. And I know some people who still work at TMZ and were telling me what it was like when all of this went down, when the trial was happening. The office came to a standstill and they were watching my testimony. And
Oh, man. That wild times indeed. I forgot how crazy the defamation trial was. Oh, my gosh. There's so many crazy things happening all at the same time. I remember out of nowhere, we're like, wait a second, former TMZ employee is going to testify? What? Why? What's going on here? And then remember how the lawyer that represented TMZ went up there to give his little spiel to Judge Penny, and Judge Penny's like, nope, we're letting it in. The lawyer's like, well, can I at least object to some of the things that he said? Penny's like, no, you're not a lawyer for any of these. No, you can't. Oh gosh. Oh man. The makeup thing. I don't know if I 100% believe that it was a bruise kit though. I don't know. There's so many things about that case I don't remember as much anymore. Did I believe it was a bruise kit? No, I think no. Yeah. Hold on. Where was the bruise kit taken? There was a photo of the bruise kit that people said, right? Oh, dude. No, I think. Fuck, I don't remember. I remember there was a someone was like, "Oh my god, there's Amber's bruise kit right there." Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't remember. By the way, I just checked the inmates list. The Ivan guy, he's still in there. It happened in mid 2022. Not going to go to trial yet, but it's pretty clear cut. Yeah, he might take a plea bargain, right? We'll see.
Harvey Levin was scared shitless and was freaking out, running around for the lawyers. When that article came out saying I was going to testify, he just jumped up and started screaming for the lawyers. And the fear and panic was extremely funny to me.
Yeah, that lawyer got shut down. Judge Penny's court.
And it makes me really happy. Do I know Johnny? So, no, we hung out for about half an hour after I testified, just by virtue of being in the same, room after the fact. And we just chatted about stuff, and he was extremely thankful, said, oh my God, it's so amazing you're doing this. Thank you so much. You helped so much, blah, 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 blah. But no, of course he didn't reach out. He's, I don't know him anything. He doesn't know me anything. There's no reason for us to be in further contact. If I was him, I would want to put this as far behind me as humanly possible. And I probably wouldn't really want to see most of those people ever again. Just want to close that chapter. And on that topic, have I spoken to Camille or Elaine? No, I have not. Elaine, God, no. Fuck
Where is Elaine now?
her. And Camille, I have not spoken to her. I have no reason to. She's a lawyer. Her job is done. Also, I wasn't totally thrilled when she went on TMZ. She went to the offices to be a part of their Christmas special. I also didn't love when she agreed to
I didn't know about that, actually.
take Kanye on as a client. They got
Oh, I remember hearing about
a
this.
lot of backlash for that.
I didn't know that I thought it was her law firm that took on him as a client. Not necessarily her. I don't know. I wasn't really sure about that. Hi, Chelly. Welcome back. Stare at her damn letters. Hello. How's it going? Yeah, that photo directly matched the theatrical makeup kit for the bruises. So even though it's not something officially verified, I definitely believe it was a bruise kit in the picture. Lamal. I don't remember anymore. I don't remember.
And didn't end up doing it, but, it's one of those things you got to remember. These people are lawyers. Lawyers first, people second. Am I famous now? No, but if I was, I maybe was for about a month. I understand the fascination and wanting to ask questions and that you saw me on TV and all that, so I get it. It's no different than coming up to the chocolate rain guy. I had a viral moment. So
Who's the chocolate rain guy? Chocolate rain guy. What happened to the guy that sang Chocolate Rain? Chocolate Rain. Oh, it's a song?
Feel the pain, chocolate rain, a baby.
I don't know who the Chocolate Rain guy is. What? 16 years ago. 2007. I didn't really watch YouTube back in 2007. Not really.
Born will die before the sin chocolate rain. The school books say it can't be here again. Chocolate rain.
Dude, you can hear my stomach growling. I'm so fucking hungry right now. Wait, moves away from the mic to breathe. Yeah, this is actually... I've never heard of this before, ever. Sorry, interrupting really quick. It's catchy.
Your neighborhood insurance rates. Chocolate rain makes us happy.
Listen, I'm the type of person that suggestions work on me. Advertisements fucking work on me. You keep saying chocolate enough, I'm gonna crave some goddamn chocolate, okay? I mean a damn chocolate bar after this. I'm trying to cut out sugar, man.
No one wants to hear about it now. Chocolate rain, which real hot. Dirty secrets of economy. Chocolate rain turns that body into.
Wait, so whatever happened to this guy? He never had like a deal or anything afterwards? Chocolate rain. Some say dry and other feels of pain. Chocolate rain. A baby born will die before the sin. Chocolate rain. The school books say it can't be here again. Chocolate rain. The prisons make you wonder where it went. Chocolate rain. Build a tent and say the world is dry. Chocolate rain. Zoom the cameras out and see the light. Chocolate rain. Forecast to be falling yesterday. Chocolate rain. I feel like it's trying to be, I feel like it's telling us something, but I don't understand what. Is this supposed to be like sending a message to something? Some politics shit? Only the past is what they say. Chocolate rain. Raise your neighborhood insurance rates. Chocolate rain. Make us happy living in the gate. Chocolate rain. Made me cross the street the other day. Chocolate rain. Made you turn your head the other way. Chocolate rain. History quickly crashing through your veins. Chocolate rain. Using you to fall back down again. Chocolate rain. Chocolate rain sounds so good. When I was a kid, there was this book about things that were falling out of the sky. Was it kind of like, wait, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? Is that the same thing? I don't know. But there was this book and like, oh my God. I was like, I like wish that was real. Food coming out of the sky. Now I want some damn chocolate rain. He did a lot of stuff on YouTube, lots of collabs and stuff back in the day. I was back in that era, so it was great to see him in his like bass heavy voice. Lala. I remember Ryan Higa. I remember Shane Dawson, but like I didn't really watch their content as much. I don't know. I wasn't really too huge into YouTube back then. But yeah.
So it's a thing. I get it. And if you see me do no different than coming up to like the chocolate rain guy, I had a viral moment. So it's a thing. I get it. And if you see me doing content, stuff like this, I've been doing this since long before this trial happened. I've been making content on Twitch and everywhere else for like...
See? Twitch. Y'all should make an account. Twitch. See? He's on Twitch.
5 years. And that's always been my kind of bread and butter, is doing videos on entertainment news. So now instead of doing it for other companies, I just get to do it for myself. Also on that note, I was half expecting to eventually have some kind of horrible run-in with an Amber Stan where somebody would like throw a drink in my face and report it and put it on Facebook. But that never happened.
He said put it on Facebook. Listen, he knows the loonies use Facebook, okay? Like I use Facebook too, but like not really.
I didn't even get any death threats. I got a lot of people being mean to me in like comments on videos and stuff, but what do I care? As far as what I'm up to now, I'm doing content, stuff like this, and I'm trying to work on like my media literacy advocation to try to help people understand when you see stuff in tabloids, what's for real, what's
I want to watch his content because this is actually really interesting to me.
Obviously a lie, understanding photo credits, things like that, trying to help people understand media and what they're seeing, what they're reading, because I think at the base level, media literacy is the ability to understand what's truth and what's not. And at its most important level, it's how we identify propaganda and fight fascism. Okay, now without further ado, we are going to react to my little viral moment, which I have not seen all the way through, and I'm going to cringe through this whole thing, but we'll get through it together.
Yeah, let's watch it. I remember when Judge Penny allowed Morgan Tremaine to testify, we were all like chanting like, Morgan Tremaine is Tremaine, Morgan Tremaine is Tremaine.
If you don't have information that's helpful to this case, then you wouldn't be a witness, correct?
You know what? I think this is her best look. Elaine looks really good in purple.
Objection. Calls for speculation.
Sustained. Sustained. Next question.
Okay, you know this,
Poor Elaine.
you know this case is being televised, right?
I don't know where she was going with that one. I guess she was trying to say that, like, I didn't have anything, therefore the only reason I could be there. But it's because the TMZ lawyer who came up before, like, they basically said, like,
I think she was trying to say, like, oh, this whole thing's televised, right? You're just trying to do this because you want to get that fame. That and, like, you know, she's trying to say, like, oh, you watch other testimonies, you watch other witnesses, maybe. I don't know.
he doesn't know anything. He has no, you know, he doesn't have any information. But if he did, we're going to sue everybody involved. So there wasn't a lot of confidence in that. So I guess she was trying to grab onto that, but that went nowhere.
I am aware that there are cameras.
And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
it? I can ask that question.
Oh, ruled.
She asked that to him, and she asked it to Morgan Knight as well. I know she definitely brought it up to the security guard, the airport security guard that was testifying. She was like, yeah, you're trying to get your 15 minutes of fame. But, yo, the lady literally rolled up. It wasn't like she was all glammed up or anything. She rolled up. She looked normal, you know. It didn't like she had, like, her hair done, face done or anything. Like, she was just chill looking. You know, I feel like people who really want their 15 minutes of fame, wouldn't they, like, you know, put on, like, a fuck ton of makeup on and stuff like that, try to look real good for the cameras and stuff like that? Like, I don't know. She looked like she was just like, oh, I'm just chilling.
So I stand to gain nothing from
I
this.
still can't believe she asked that. What a shitty thing to ask. I don't know how she couldn't see that. And they tried that with somebody else, too. I remember they tried the 15 minutes thing with another person. I mean, way to show your hand that you really have nothing to go on. You have nothing. Nothing. By the way, there's
maybe Elaine wanted to be TikTok famous. You know, maybe she was like, you know what? Once I say this line, I'm gonna get all the yes queens on like the TikToks on the Twitter. Maybe she thought she was gonna be famous, and that was gonna be her one time, you know, break the internet moment. And maybe it backfired on her.
There's a bunch of stuff she probably could have said. She really could have drilled into the fact that, like, she could tell that I wasn't going to name names, which was TMZ's biggest fear, is that I was gonna reveal hard sources and say a name, and then that would jeopardize their news gathering ability in the future. But if she had just dug into the fact that I wasn't going to say the name and try to make it seem like I was lying, then maybe she would have had a better shot. But
that's actually a good point.
She just went for this BS. Just a bad lawyer. Bad lawyer.
I'm actually putting myself kind of in a target of TMZ, a very litigious organization.
By the way, I found out after the fact, and if you follow me on Twitter, you saw this. I am responsible for a massive spike in the Googling of what litigious means.
And I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here, though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
A little argumentative, don't you think?
Oh, hardly. I find that to be purely logical.
Okay, so here's the thing where there's a couple of the lawyers, LawTube guys back there, whom I've talked to.
Their expressions were great, especially this guy. There's this guy right here, and there was this guy right there. I remember when I was like making the thumbnail, I was like, "Oh my god, these expressions are great. Who are these people?"
They're nice guys, but yeah. So you obviously saw everybody's reaction. Everybody laughed, ha ha ha, all that. What you didn't see was the jury. I remember
we did it
because I was in a trance this whole time. It was very, very scary. By the way, neither here nor there. The courtroom was very pretty, very, very pretty. You can kind of tell there's like some natural light coming off from the left. It's a very pretty courthouse.
Someone also mentioned that as well. I forgot who. Someone also mentioned that this is a very pretty courthouse, and it smells really nice.
But I remember out of the corner of my eye seeing the jury sort of looking at each other like, oh shit. It was so you didn't see the jury obviously, but they were also like, oh my god. I think they were over her too. I think they shared in everybody's detest for her.
Now, are you?
Oh really? There's a huge drama on Law 2 over the DUI guy reacting like that was so dumb. Wait, why?
Are you aware that Mr. Depp's attorneys were well aware of the TRO that was going to be presented on May 27th?
Objection. Calls for speculation.
Were you aware of that?
Lack of foundation.
No, overruled if you can answer it.
Can you restate the question?
Were you aware that Mr. Depp's...
Yeah, as soon as they do the objection stuff, I'm just like, I'm getting confused. Because I basically went into this knowing they were going to object to every single thing I said in an effort to just stop me from saying anything. So they tried.
Divorce attorneys were aware that Amber Heard was going in to seek a TRO on May 20th.
So when she asks stuff like this, she's not asking me. She's just trying to say this and get it on the record. She's not asking me. It doesn't matter if I say yes or no. Also, it's like the only reason if I was answered yes to this, it would be good for her, I guess. But yeah, I think it's more her just trying to say Like she says a couple more things like that where it's more statement than question.
27?
I don't think I understand the question. I don't think so, no.
Okay.
It's
Do
kind of a
you
complicated
know
question.
whether
At this point, after she was
It's just like, what? Because Legal Blades, can't remember who else is trying to act like she sent him into court to represent law to made them look bad or some nonsense like that. Honestly, I think that's just a raw fucking reaction. Like,
a little snotty with me, I'm just like, whatever. This
you can't get mad for that. You know, just when like Ben Chu, right? Ben Chu did the fist pump thing. It was just a fucking reaction. Like he probably couldn't help himself.
whole thing is kind of a farce now. So I think I was really nervous at this point, definitely. But I by the way, I had no idea what would happen. It wasn't until afterwards when I'm like, oh yeah, I think I understand that I did a funny thing. I was still scared shitless up here.
Oh, I just saw that. I love his search. Morgan Tremaine clapback. I didn't know what you're talking about earlier. Like, what? I see it now.
Blair Burke, one of Mr. Depp's divorce attorneys, had a very close relationship with TMZ at that time?
Objection calls for speculation.
I was trying to be good there. I was trying to be like, no, I have to wait. I'm not going to go ahead and give him a question. I'm going to wait and see what the judge says. By the way, hats off to the judge. She was awesome.
Yeah, Judge Penny.
I was not aware of that.
Okay. And when you said that you were dispatched twice, once to film Amber in a parking lot for the deposition, and then it didn't work out, and so you had to do it another time. How did you know it didn't work out?
Because TMZ.com posted an article saying as much.
Okay.
And I was not dispatched.
Do you know
I worked in the office.
why the deposition did not work out?
I'd have to reference the article, I forget.
So do you know?
I didn't.
Yeah, again, a lot of what I was trying to go on was I think the defense had missed a bunch of really obvious stuff that was just on the TMZ website. Like there was a lot of information there that if you were able to piece together, you would be able to piece together a story and timeline based on those articles. And that's why I originally reached out. I'm like, I just wanted to point out.
I think he meant plaintiff side. The plaintiff side missed a lot of stuff.
To them, like, hey,
right?
if you look on the website, there's a bunch of stuff that really tells a story on what happened. And there's only reason that they would be there is if they had this information prior. So I was really just trying to point this stuff out to them. And then they were like, okay, well, what are you doing next week? Can you point it out for us?
I didn't write that story. I wasn't involved in the actual journalism of that.
Do you know which side would have known or not known whether that deposition was going to work out? In other words, the people representing Mr. Depp or the people representing Ms.
Wait, I was just looking at my OBS screen. I like how this is like a triple rec. I'm reacting to him, reacting to him.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, so that's most of that. So yeah, then from there, it was more of just, she asked me a bunch of questions, and I was like, I don't know. And a lot of it was just, I don't know. Because I came there for a specific purpose. I was just trying to show, like, the only, you can piece it together from what I'm saying. I'm not going to reveal sources. I'm not going to, risk an insane lawsuit. I'm also just going to say what I know for sure. And it's enough breadcrumbs that you can figure it out from there. I think I did a pretty good job with that.
Yep.
Had people asking me afterwards if I was a lawyer. Speaking of which, this has kind of inspired me because I like entertainment law. I find it very interesting. And I'm trying to figure out what like my next kind of career move is. So I've been looking into going to law school. And it was the last thing I told my mom before she died. So I really want to. So that's one of those things that this has really inspired is I think I want to go to law school. I'll be somebody who can help creators, especially when it comes to things like contracts and maybe even defamation, but it's something that I want to pursue as far as entertainment law, especially when it comes to like IP and copyright, since I seem to kind of get that pretty well. So yeah, stay tuned.
That'd be cool.
That. As far as where Johnny is now, I was super happy to see him at Cannes. Something needed to be the first Johnny Depp movie back from all of this. Now the door is open for things like Beetlejuice 2. There's going to be a lot less articles, a lot.
Is he going to be in Beetlejuice 2? What? How do you spell Beetlejuice again? Isn't it spelled weird? Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of Beetlejuice 2 proves Tim Burton has finally replaced. He's in Beetlejuice He fractured his ankle. Oh, he did? No, you're not frozen. I'm just frozen. Is Johnny Depp going to be in Beetlejuice too? It seems like rumors, maybe? It says no, yes, no. I don't know. I'm getting mixed. It says official. Tim Burton announces Johnny Depp. But then recent. Johnny Depp is not going to be in Beetlejuice 2. I don't know. Rumors. Okay, I don't know. They're rumors, maybe. That'd be cool, though.
Less attention, a lot less
I love Beetlejuice.
asking Brie Larson awkward questions during pressers that it doesn't have anything to do with her.
Sorry.
Meanwhile,
I'm sorry,
I know that Amber's living in Spain now in what is essentially exile. That is all she can do right now. She's done in Hollywood. Her last appearance is going to be the 5 minutes she has left in Aquaman 2.
When is Aquaman 2 coming out? Does anyone know?
Which I will go see, and I encourage everyone to go see because there's no purpose in punishing everyone else, including Jason Momoa, whom
Listen, I think people aren't watching Aquaman 2 because Aquaman 1 sucked, okay? I'm sorry. It sucked. It had a great cast of people. You know, it had Willem Dafoe, Nicole Kidman, Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa was pretty cool, but I don't know. The movie was so bad. I watched it. I was like, bleh, bleh.
I love. So don't boycott that movie. Also, boycotts don't work. So go see Aquaman 2 if you want to. Ooh, when she comes on, I don't care. But I just want to say, like, please don't boycott that movie. She's done. It's already over. I'm proud of Johnny for putting himself out there again. I can't wait to see Beetlejuice 2, which I'm almost sure he's in, it sounds like.
Really?
I love his daughter, by the way. She's in that new show, The Idol, which is getting...
Oh, yeah. Have you guys seen The Idol by any chance? I haven't seen it yet. I gotta watch it. I heard it was getting some spicy reviews. And apparently, Blackpink Jenny is in it. But, like, I think they were saying that, like, they cut out her her screen time, like, immensely for some reason.
Very weird reviews, but I'm going to see it. It sounds kind of interesting. And I hope to see more from her. She's a really interesting actress. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you being here. Again, there was a huge amount of people that gave me a lot of attention in the very beginning because they were out of just morbid curiosity and wanting to have a lot of questions about what I knew. And then that whittled down into this core community of really interesting people who have a desire to learn about media literacy and talk about entertainment news. So.
Oh, I think he has a podcast. Wait, is it on his main channel? Cool. Yeah, I definitely want to watch some of his stuff. Oh, cool. So only a couple videos. All right. Cool. I look forward to your stuff, Morgan Tremaine.
I'm super thankful for this community we've built, and I look forward to doing more content with some kind of meaning and purpose to it. And yeah, thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate it. We'll see you around.
Bye. All right, go subscribe to his channel, Morgan Tremaine. She apparently still had 20 minutes in the last advanced screenings. Yeah, I don't know. The rumors kept going back and forth. It was like, she's getting cut. Oh, she's not getting cut. They're giving her 2 hours. Oh, 20 minutes. Oh, 5 minutes. I don't know. I'm just going to wait till the fucking movie comes out, okay? Fuck all these rumors. Just wait till the movie comes out. We'll see. I missed so much of the signing up for the Twitch. I think the problem comes down to how much of her can they cut before the plot just has the gapping and glaring holes that her characters were supposed to fill. I don't know. I feel like I watched Justice League. I watched Aquaman 1, and I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. I think her role was like she was supposed to birth like Aquaman's son or something, right? Yeah, like I don't know, show the birthing scene and then that's about it. I don't think she really needs to be in it. I don't know, because well, hold on a second. I guess it is kind of weird to have the son. It depends on how much of the it's gonna be centered around the family, right? I don't know. Maybe just have her die in giving childbirth, I guess. I don't know. Aquaman, I don't know. Aquaman the movie's like meh. Meh. Although I kind of did enjoy Justice League. I watched Justice League and I thought it was pretty okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. I don't remember which version I watched of the Justice League though. No, I think I watched the Zack Snyder version. I was supposed to say off screen. She ain't giving no birth, okay? Meh is right. Yeah, I tried to like it, but the CGI was so bad. That scene when they were in the desert, I can't play it on YouTube because I'm gonna get copyright. But Aquaman desert scene was so bad. The desert scene. There's one where they're walking in the middle of the desert. Aquaman walking in desert. Did I spell desert right? Where is the fucking scene? Maybe I made fun of it so much that they got rid of it. There's a scene where they're in the desert. Is this it? Yeah, and it looks so fake. It just looks so bad. They're walking around, like, I don't know, it just looks so fake. Like, you could tell the back right there is just like a backdrop or something. It looks so bad. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of her wig either. But yeah. Oh yeah, isn't Flash out right now? You know, I really liked the first Flash movie. I like his character. But it's just a shame of all the crazy shit that's surrounding him. Yep. Party City. Amazon. It's like, Amazon wigs aren't that bad. I've got some wigs on Amazon. All right, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my stomach has been growling hardcore for the past like 20 minutes. I gotta go get some food. I'm starving. But you know what? Today, we discovered Chocolate Rain for the first time. It's been out for 13 years, but you know, it's never too late to discover stuff like that. Talked about Sarah Boone. We read through all her letters. I think she wrote about like 5 or 6 letters to the lawyer, judge. We went through why she went through so many lawyers. Mostly not her fault, though. I think it's kind of sensationalized when it's like, oh my God, Sarah Boone went through like 6 lawyers. But I think only 2 was like irreconcilable differences. I mean, honestly, the first lawyer, I want to know the tea, but we're not going to find out. I want to know what's up with the second, with the current lawyer too. Not the second lawyer, the 6th lawyer. Yeah, I want to know what's up with the 6th lawyer. But her trial date is set for July. It's probably going to get pushed again and again and again and again. And it looks like, I don't know. It looks like the judge is tired of it. The judge is like, dude, let's just have the trial. Why does it keep getting pushed? Let's just have the trial. Fuck it. But we'll see. Better late than never. Discover internet culture, I suppose. Also, did anyone watch the last episode of Succession? The TV show on HBO? Yo, that episode is so mind effing me. So bad. Oh, God. Did anyone else watch it? No, I don't think anyone really watches Succession. Like, none of my audience do. My Twitch audience probably had no idea what the heck I was talking about. But I was wondering if my YouTubers, you guys watch Succession? You guys watched the last episode? Last season? It was wild. It was crazy. Oh my God. Better Call Saul. I finished it too. I finished it this past weekend. Oh, so good. They did such a good job at ending it. It was like a nice slow roll end. Like they really took their time ending the season. So good. Yeah. And they have some guest appearances. Okay. Yo, so good. Waiting for, I know, Tokyo. No. Sorry. I'm thinking about Tokyo Vice. Yo, Tokyo Vice. Oh, waiting for it too. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. If anyone else watched the session, let me know next time in the live chat, okay? Love to chat about it. But my stomach is growling. I'm super hungry. You guys can probably hear it. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. We'll do a mega update with Lori Vallow at some point. And Alex Murdoch as well. So I was going to do it all in one stream, but Sarah Boone was taking up a lot of her time, and we'll do it separately. I do stream on Twitch as well. If you guys want to hang out with me on Twitch, feel free to stop by, say hi. But I play video games on there, so if you guys want to watch, feel free. Yeah, I got little doggies back here. I think Steve is he's got his little bone right now. Yeah, his little corgi. Kind of looks like an alligator with no arms right now. Steve, he always does this. Every time I call him, he like freezes. Steve, what are you doing over there? Say hi. He's ignoring me. Hi, I missed you. Hi, Be Cool. How are you doing today? We're ending the stream right now. It's okay. I'll be back live again. But yeah, I'll have the stream live. You guys can watch it afterwards. I need to figure out how to make my stream go live automatically because I have to do it manually. So if you're watching the stream right now, it's gonna get interrupted, but then it'll be up again momentarily. But thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, it was fun hanging out with you guys. I'll see you guys in a bit, in a couple of days. We'll be streaming some updates. I don't know. I think I do want to do an update about the woman that is accused of dumping her baby in the trash. I do want to do an update on that because their defense, the defense that they're going with, is a little bit yikes. So I want to talk about that. I want to do an update on Murdoch and Lori. And yeah, if there's anything else that comes across your way that you guys want me to cover, join the Discord. If you haven't already, join the Discord. It's a community hangout area. We do have a true crime section. You can post like stuff in there if you want me to read them. But yeah, join the Discord. And I'll see you guys later. Okay, have a good one. Take care. Thank you for hanging out with me. I like to do true crime court stuff on YouTube. I play video games on Twitch. But my YouTube channel is just a bunch of crazy stuff that I feel like doing. I don't know. Sometimes it's travel stuff, vlog, food stuff, cooking stuff. And majority of it is just true crime and court stuff. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And